episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on this show are reflective of AJ Orsini, the Steve Dave, and their guests exclusively. Seriously, guys, my dad and uncle say some pretty crazy stuff. If it offends you, go be butthurt somewhere else.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Minds, and now your host, AJ Orsini with Dave.
Oh, Lord, have mercy, have mercy. It's your boys! Your main men are back again. Of course, we are here with another episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. I am your host, AJ Orsini, and don't let the question mark fool you. Steve Dave's in the house. Dave, you with me?
I'm definitely here.
Definitely here. We're here to discuss many a topic, many a thing. Today, of course, will be absolutely 100% pro wrestling heavy. I'm going to go ahead and just put that out there right now into the ether because, boy, oh boy, we survived. We did it. We made it through the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, the high points, the low points. Wrestlemania weekend in the books, mostly positive. Of course, we couldn't get through the weekend without a few negatives, but I would like to say, for the record, we didn't all come out completely unscathed. You are dealing with a sniffle.
Ooh, more of a throat issue.
Oh, okay.
Pause.
There you go. No. All pauses were activated beforehand. I don't know if that was...
Oh, okay. It was implied.
I was going to say, it's normally insinuated, but if you're playing it safe, I'll just go ahead and let you know. Yeah, you should be straight and good to go on the pause.
Fair enough.
But, for the record, all Orsini's Uncensored Mind episodes are brought to you by any sponsor that we choose. And put the disclaimer out there that no homo is explicitly implied in all episodes of Orsini's Uncensored Mind.
Unless otherwise lifted.
Yeah, unless otherwise stated. Yeah, exactly. No homo will be activated at all times. Of course, every guest or co-host has the option of activating pause at any point in time, which you just activated right now. So I'm just putting that out there for all future guests of the show as well. Pause is an optional thing, but no homo is explicitly implied in all episodes. But, yeah, you're dealing with an inconvenient situation.
Yeah.
Essentially. So we're going to power through this.
We're good, though.
We're good.
I drank my coffee, and then my wife's coffee got cold, so I drank that. Dude, I'm ready to go.
Oh,
dude.
man,
I got two in me.
You're a fucking... Again, all homo is implied in all episodes of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. But, so we have a lot of stuff that we have to get through. Obviously, a big weekend, not just for WWE. There was some other news, of course, that hit the wire because we do our show on the weekend. And we did a live roundtable, which let's start off at the top with that. Thank you to all of you who participated in that roundtable, both during the actual live broadcast and, of course, throughout the course of the week. We had some people who caught it later. They caught it on the YouTube or whatever. So thank you guys for the support for that. I asked Pombo, and Pombo's going to kill me, but I asked beforehand. Before we went on the air, I said, I'm not using any WWE audio, but I am going to try to use the background. You think we should be cool? And Joe's like, yeah, I think you should be cool. It's a partial video. We're not even playing the whole thing, blah, whatever the case. I got hit. YouTube said, nah. WWE said, take that down. So the audio for the roundtable has been uploaded to the Podbean link, so you guys can still listen to it there. I'll, of course, have the show posted on other social media where the copyright thing is not as much of a deal. For some reason, YouTube is just sensitive about this kind of shit. So you won't be able to find it on YouTube anymore, but if you guys still want to check out the roundtable, there's plenty of social media stuff that you can catch it on our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram. You guys can check it out there. Obviously, this episode will be uploaded in the normal spot. We've got some new independent spotlight coming up. A lot of things happening here at OUM Network, but we're going to start off very, very quickly with some of the excess news. So we didn't get a chance to talk about any of the excess stuff, one of which just happened. We got lucky on this podcast because we're recording here early Saturday morning, and yesterday some news came out of the land of the rising sun over in Japan. We may, for the first time ever, folks, we may be ahead of the story because every other podcast always gets ahead of us. But on this one, I think we're right on the money. A New Japan Pro Wrestling champion here, an IWGP World's Heavyweight Champion, has been crowned. And he, of course, is the man, Jon Moxley. Just won the IWGP Heavyweight title either last night or I can hardly ever keep track of the fucking zones and whatever. But he won it in Japan. And he now stands as the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Over the course of WrestleMania weekend, April 5th, this would be exact as the date. We didn't get a chance to talk about it because we did our roundtable on the 4th. And we're selfish assholes and just decided to spend WrestleMania weekend to ourselves. So we missed it. But we also have a new Ring of Honor World's Heavyweight Champion, which would be Mark Briscoe. The other half of the infamous Briscoe brothers. As we all know, Jay is a former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. His brother now holds the same accolade. He is now the current Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Want to send out my big ups to the big bros out there winning world titles over the course of this big week and weekend. Send some love over to the new champs. And so this podcast was specifically chosen to be super WrestleMania heavy because we're dealing with the fallout here. We're dealing with a lot of emotion, not just within WWE, but within us because we had a big weekend with our family being there and doing all this stuff. Definitely wanted to talk to you about your experiences at the building and this ambiance and this environment. So we were just ready to go for this episode. And those goddamn elite fucks just wouldn't let us. You can't have good things in pro wrestling. You can't have it. They would not let this stand, Dave. They said the people over there are having too much fucking fun. They're having too much fun.
The numbers are too good.
The numbers are too good. There's too many cool things happening over there. This is Bumpkiss. We can't let this fucking happen. So, of course, AEW had to step up, spit on the sidewalk, push the grandmother down the flight of steps. They had to do, I'm trying to think of all the corny old school, what is it, to tie the young girl to the train tracks trick while you twist your mustache. What other crazy old
some
school
Popeye shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some old school villainy here has taken place. And they have decided this past Wednesday, out of the fucking blue, that they were just going to decide, you know what, actually not out of the blue. Let me explain in full here. So, CM Punk did an interview with Ariel Helwani, who works with the ESPN and many sports outlets. He has his own podcast, and CM Punk is not the only WWE superstar who was on Ariel Helwani's leading up to WrestleMania. It was all part of the promotional tour. But Punk has a little bit more to say on certain situations than a lot of the other guests, and Ariel Helwani could not resist, so the AEW thing kind of came up. And to the surprise of a lot of people, he was able to be extremely honest about his experiences there. And by shock, I mean I think a lot of people just assumed there would be some sort of NDA in place and he wouldn't be able to talk about it. But alas, CM
Punk being Punk.
Punk is no dum-dum, and he did sign an NDA, but for Brawl Out. For the situation that happened backstage with the fight with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, there is apparently an NDA involved with that. But as far as his overall experiences, he's apparently free to talk about whatever he'd like. And that's exactly what he did. And all he really did, if you listen to that interview, and I listened to the whole 1 hour and 50 minutes, because if I'm going to criticize someone, I want to make sure I'm criticizing them fairly. And I listened to the whole thing. And the only gist that I got from this whole interview was all the things that's already said about this company in the first place. It's not built and designed to make money. It's some rich guy, the ultimate money mark, just throwing money at problems, trying to play with his playthings, and just basically fantasy booking his way through a pro wrestling career. We all thought that, based on the things that we've seen. All Punk really did was just come out and confirm it. And of course, in true Tony fashion, he decides, well, I'm going to show him. I'm going to release the security footage that everybody asked me to release 7 months ago and I didn't want to. Now I'm going to release it because he done pissed me off. And what the video, I showed you the video, and what the video does is hilarious because what it does is it confirms everything Punk said to the point where people have been putting the video side by side in the same shot with Punk describing the events, and it fits to a T. So I don't understand the point of the video. The Young Bucks being involved in this, they play the footage and then use it as a spin to further their storyline with FTR. I don't understand any of this. In the sense of I don't know what it was they were hoping to gain from this. Because showing the footage at their event got CM Punk chants. The audience was supporting Punk. In their own audience, their audience was supporting Punk. If you go online, and I know that you don't have a lot of wrestling stuff on your Facebook page. I'm littered with it. And this is the reason why I'm not like other people who block the dirt sheets, who engage in back and forth debates online. I live a very peaceful life, and I have all those triggers on my social. And the reason I have that is because I like to keep my ear to the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Streets.
Very Native American. Like I like to put my finger and feel the wind and see which direction the wind is going. You know what I'm saying? And it's so hilarious to me that WWE fans didn't even really acknowledge it all that much. The most negative feedback I can see, and this is from multiple pages, multiple sources, multiple platforms, AEW fans did not like this. AEW fans thought that this was a bitch move. AEW fans were like, why is Tony so fucking soft? And to the point where AEW saw the reaction and immediately panicked and started removing it from social media. Not just their own, but from other people's who had shared it. They were sending out copyright strikes and trying to get it scrubbed off the net.
I don't know. I don't think he's soft for it. Actually, on the contrary, I think he's kind of ballsy. The problem is it wasn't a good punch. Like to be able to
it was
be
a shove.
Like, I understand, but what I'm saying is like I don't think he's a pussy for releasing the footage. I just think the narrative in the footage was you didn't have anything. You just made yourself look worse. I think it's ballsy as him in his position to go, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to expose you. But like, you didn't expose anybody. If anything, you just was like, oh, okay. You confirmed everything he said. And instead of making him look like an asshole, you just made him look like a badass.
Yeah.
And now he's off feuding with top contenders and the best wrestling company in the business right now. So It's like, what did you really do? You just left your people scratching heads. So I don't think it was so much the action that was pussy. I just think the execution was terrible. You didn't have anything. Let it go. Just let it go, dude. You should have just let that go.
Should have been let it go. It shouldn't even be an issue with you anymore. And you know, there was the criticism was crazy from their own people.
If there's one thing I don't like, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, this is the one thing I will stand on this hill until I die. I hate people that do things and just cannot say what they're doing. Just be honest. Look, I'm fantasy booking this shit. I love it. I have a lot of money. I'm having fun with this. Yeah. I'm giving people exposure. This is what I do. I mean, there's no need to like say it all the time, but if you ever get called out, like, yeah, like I mean, I do my best to make money, but like to be honest with you, this is a fun project for me. I enjoy putting content out there for wrestling fans because I'm a wrestling fan. I've been fortunate enough to be able to do this, and I hope you guys appreciate it. Dude, I would love that. But instead, people have to fucking pretend like they're some type of contender. I can't stand people who have a goal but don't stand on their truth. That's the only thing I have a problem with. If you're gonna do that, just say you're doing it. It's not a big deal. No, I think you'd get more respect saying it than pretending like you're trying to be the best wrestling business.
I think that's where he went wrong on the whole thing, because I think he was looking for the wrong respect. If he does that, if he goes out there and just goes, "Hey folks, my name is Tony Khan and I'm going to be honest, I'm winging this shit," his audience would love that. His audience would love that. The problem is that they would see when his fans would look at him after saying, "Yeah, I'm winging it," they would go, "Oh, you look at that. He's a guy with a lot of passion. He's a fan like us." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very wrestling to do that.
But he that's not the respect he's looking for.
He wants the McMahon respect.
He wants the McMahon respect, and
which is fucking weird.
It's because he knows that's where the true power is. He wants the power that comes with it, but he doesn't have the power because he doesn't have the respect. People don't look at him and go and tell themselves, "Here's a real boss. Here's a real fucking man."
The final boss.
Yeah. You can say what you want about Vince and his creative ideas, and you can say what you want about Vince as a person, which is probably safe to say at this point, pretty predominantly known as garbage. But the last thing that you would say about him is that he didn't have control of his company, and he didn't have control of his staff. He was the end-all, be-all. He made the decisions, even if they were the hard ones to make, and he always made it to your face. This guy, Vince McMahon, got spit on in front of the world, and then punched in the face and got a black eye, and still came on television and said, "Well, Brett fucked Brett." Still did it. Still made the call.
Stood on his business.
Yeah, he stood on his business.
You
black
ain't
eye and
finna take my fucking belt
yeah,
nowhere.
You're not taking my belt nowhere. Exactly. Whereas Tony Khan stands there, watches a fight take place in front of him. Punk yells at him, and he goes into a fetal position. What is this? It's not the same thing. We are not built the same, my guy.
Nope.
I don't understand what would happen there. But that's the kind of person. And we were, not me and you, but I was talking with this about a friend. It's like I could never see myself. It's like a football player who's tough as nails, who is willing to run through a wall for his coach. Just blind support. And then your coach goes out there and does some bitch shit like that. You can't play for that coach anymore. Come on, you can't look at your coach and go, I can't go through a wall for you, bro. You fucking up, bro.
No, but you're not gonna leave either. AAA knows they're AAA.
Yeah, so they're not gonna leave. Yeah, but the respect factor, how well they're gonna play for you. I don't think
it was ever there, bro. You see the way these guys act in front of him?
That's true.
It's crazy.
That's true.
That shit was never there. Just as much everything you know about that place, they know. Yeah. And the ones who are still
and they knew it first.
Knows what they can. Yeah, they know what they can get away with, and they know what they can't.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. We're not here to talk about trash AEW.
We're not. I wanted to bring it up because it's the hot topic, and I feel like.
No, I get it. I mean, even like Will Ospreay's out there running his mouth.
Yeah, which was a whole nother bag
I just saw that before we got on.
Oh my god!
Like I said, that's another combo for another day. Let that shit build, because I think it's gonna keep going. I promise you, it's gonna keep going.
Yeah, we're not done with that.
Yeah. Let that
real
shit
quick,
build.
just to give everybody an idea of what we're talking about. During WrestleMania weekend, there was a question posed to Triple H about how the recruiting process takes place and how, what are they looking for, what kind of talent are they looking for, or whatever the case may be. And Triple H made a comment about, about WWE being a full-on grind, right? He wants people that are going to be here, that are going to be, 100% involved, pushing through, date to date, mile for mile, just in the business, 100% in the grind. If you take a job somewhere else where the schedule is lighter, you don't have to do as much, then he's specifically said, I'm glad I didn't get you, because you wouldn't have worked in this system. All you're gonna do is just complain. So that's what he said. He's like, if you're not willing to do the grind here. If you're okay with doing less somewhere else, I'm glad I didn't get you. That's all it was. And he said this on a pre-show where, let's be honest, not everybody was watching the pre-show. We barely watched it, and we were going to the fucking event. Not everybody watched the pre-show. This was on. Not even the pre-show. Excuse me. This was on the Pat McAfee show. This was on his podcast platform, and it wasn't a direct shot. Because if you really believe that this was a shot at Will Ospreay, then you don't know this business. Because this is not the first guy to look at Triple H or to look at WWE and say, "Oh, this schedule is better. I'll go this way." It's too hard. Because it is hard. It's insane, the schedule that they have.
That's not an insult.
Yeah, you'd have to be obsessed.
Dude, yes, 100%, dude.
You'd have to be 100% obsessed with this business to be on the road with these people. It's a circus. It's crazy. So, like, you have to weigh those options out. Of course, everyone took it to Will Ospreay because he was the most recent version or the most recent example.
And I'm sure he was in conversation with the WWE.
Yeah.
So he took it personal.
Yeah, so he took it personal.
Yeah, he took it personal.
So he decided on Dynamite, live on television, to take his interview time to take direct pot shots at the company for, "I've been grinding, bruv." Not like this motherfucker.
No.
You think you've been grinding. You ain't been grinding like this. And to be honest with you, when you heard what that grind looked and sounded like, you wanted no part of it.
It's funny, too, because the video I saw was titled, "If Burning a Bridge Had a Face."
Yeah.
And then when I listened to it, I'm like, why would you talk about his family? Like, I just don't get. I don't get what if you're insinuating that Triple H is where he is because he married Stephanie,
which is the oldest joke in the fucking book.
You are so far out of touch.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be someone who's been doing this. Then yes, I'm glad we don't have you, because you're exactly right. That's not the attitude they need in the back right now.
That joke, Triple H is only where he is because he's fucking Steph, worked like 15 years ago.
Yeah, when he had no control.
Yeah, when he had no control, he was the champion, just ruling over everyone. It made sense, right? You could still make an argument he was a decent champion and he would have succeeded without her, but I could see the argument the other way, right? In 2024, with everything he's done with this company, with Vince McMahon being shoved into a cannon and shot to the other side of the fucking planet, that's how far they want to get away from this motherfucker. They have gotten rid of every McMahon, but they kept him. And he now has full control of this fucking company creatively. And you're still on the whole, well, he's only here because he fucked Steph. Steph's not there.
Oh, well, she's back now.
I don't think, not full time. She made an appearance. It's one of those bring your wife to work things. But TKO bought this company and put it under the umbrella next to UFC. It got rid of everybody. But said, you know what, though? I mean, we got rid of everybody, but, Triple H is fucking Vince's daughter. We might have to keep him on board. You really think that was the fucking conversation that happened?
And this is a good way to segue over is not only that, and it comes back to the conversation we had before about, like, how did that look like, right? Like, Triple H was there. He had to know some stuff, right? But, like, maybe he just, in a wrestling sense, did the job. You know what I mean? He laid down. He did what he had to do. He stayed away, stayed clean. We don't know, right? We don't know any of that stuff.
Not yet.
But hold on. But one thing is for certain: when there's no words, actions tell everything. Mm-hmm. And in that past whole fucking week, Triple H has been trying to stay out of the spotlight. And these guys just keep dragging his ass back in.
Because that's what AEW does. That's what AEW does.
No, I'm not talking about AEW. Fuck AEW. I'm talking about Paul Heyman. I'm talking about Cody Rhodes. Like, the energy is thank you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Literally, they're all looking at him as a savior. So that tells you that, like, yeah, I think he did the job. And this fell into his lap. And the moment he got control of it, you can see the just relief in everybody's fucking eyes.
He did what did Paul Heyman say during his Hall of Fame speech? I will forever now be a Paul Levesque guy. He got Paul Heyman to buy into whatever the fuck it is that he's doing. This guy knows how to fucking control and book and take care of a fucking company. He just does.
Dude, like I said before, you have two types of people. You got the people who get fucked until they get into the top and now they want to do the fucking because they've been fucked, right? It's my turn now. We all know those guys. We all know those bosses. It's my turn now. You shut the fuck up and take it. Or, very extremely rarely, do you get the boss that goes, hey, my asshole is gaping, but I'm trying to keep yours as tight because I don't want you to go through what I went through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the type of leader that Triple H is showing right now.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I took it all, so some of you don't have to see the shit that I seen. Let's just forget about it. Let's move forward and let's bring a product to the point where this man hit record numbers 3 days in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the child that got raised with beatings and then decided to become a parent who used his words out of fucking nowhere. He's like, I don't think that was the best way for me to be raised. Let me talk to him, see how they feel about the situation.
Storytelling.
Yeah,
Who would have thought that one of the biggest pops in the building would be fucking Jay Uso?
Yeah. We are gonna get there.
We gotta talk about it, baby.
Well, we gonna get there. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead. If we got all we got all the petty shit out of the way.
Hey,
early.
we about to be hypocrites today, baby.
All that
shit I talked.
We
about to be hypocrites.
We about to be hypocrites. He said. Okay, well here's the deal. So we got all the petty shit out of the way. This is our main event. This is the show right here. We're gonna be talking about WrestleMania XL. Before we get into the actual show, first and foremost, gotta talk to you. First time at the event. I mean, what's going through your head? You know, you're walking to the building. You got the ambiance. Here's all the cosplaying. You've got the belts. We get into the building. First thing we see is the pre-show gang. We've got CM Punk. We've got Big E. It's stars out the gate. I mean, literally out the gate. We get into the gates, and the pre-show is right there. What how hyped were you? What was going through your head here going through this event?
I've learned something about myself here.
Learn something about yourself. Okay.
Yes. I am not a starstruck guy.
Okay.
So the electrifying energy that you get from a level of like this type of thing, it's apparent to me, but it doesn't like overtake me. So it was like I'm there and this is fucking awesome. Like the banners are there. CM Punk's right there. Big, like you said, Big E, we bang it right. We go upstairs, fucking rings there. People like, I love being in the energy. That's what made those 4 hours feel like 2 to me. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It didn't ooh, I don't know. I don't want to downplay it because it was fucking top tier amazing. But I learned that like I'm not really like starstruck by anything. And I just kind of got that. I was expecting to be more like a 5-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, whoa. But I don't know. Maybe it's just come with age. But I could definitely
you're
like
older.
I was telling you when we got in the building, bro, like, yo, I gotta go to the next big event. Where's Backlash? Like, where we going? Like that, like it makes me excited to do stuff. Like I want to go again. Like when Raw comes around, like I wouldn't even mind just like going to a
You
Raw.
asked about the Rumble when we were at the fucking
Yes,
event.
that's the next big one I want to do.
That's a good one to go to, yeah. That's a good one to go to.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with energy, right? Like it's like fuck, dude. Like I'm all in now. Like I'm ready to go. Like I want to go to the next few events and stuff like that. So, but to the point where like I really did expect myself to walk in and just like
be overwhelmed,
goosebumps all over. Just get that feeling like a kid, like that, just like, you know what I mean, like that throwback feeling. But it wasn't there. Not that was negative, but it was just something I observed. Do you still get that feeling?
Yes and no. I think I have that feeling. For me, and this is my 4th one, and I still felt it. So for me,
good.
I love the. This is gonna sound stupid to a lot of people, but I love the walking to the building.
Oh yeah,
and because you've got the building, you hear the music. There's people filing from everywhere, and we are going to get balls deep into this parking situation after the fact.
Oh yeah.
But we're walking to the building. You get the ambiance, you get that vibe. Even for me, waiting online for the ticket person is just a lot of fun because that's like it's part to me. It's part of the experience. And then once you swipe in, like they do your bleep 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 thing, and you walk in, and this was the first time that I've been to a WrestleMania where everything about WWE was so accessible right from the go. They had the banners, the signs. It looks like WWE was in the house, right? When I went to MetLife twice, I didn't see anything WWE until I got to the seat, and you can see the staging. And the staging was enough for me. But in this case, and the same thing with when I went to Tampa. When I went to Tampa, you can't tell from the outside that WWE was in the house. There wasn't a whole lot of that going on. Philly hooked it up as far as the decor. It looked like an actual, like, full-blown, big-ass wrestling event. It was tremendous. So I was just like, okay. And, of course, the first thing that happens when we get in the building is we lose the baby sister. She's gone. She disappears almost immediately.
She does what she does.
She does. That's Wayne did it. Just did it. And then that's and then we gotta go find her. But bringing mom was another added situation because of her condition. So now we're all playing. Well, you played babysitter for most of it.
Yeah, intentionally.
Okay.
Intentionally.
But yeah, we were walking through all that. I wanted so bad to just the night before WrestleMania. I'll admit, you and I got a little rambunctious.
Dude, I was ready to go again.
Yeah, we indulged in the adult beverage, and it took hold of me the night before. It took hold of me. I'm not gonna kick my ass good. I'm not gonna sit here and bitch up. This is what happened. The Colt 45 came back. An old friend came into the house. This is how I legitimately felt. I felt like Colt 45 is that old friend that you cut off for a reason, but it's been so long and you forget the reason. So then you bump into them and you're like, oh man, why did I stop hanging with you? And then 4 a.m. you're like, this is why I stopped fucking with you. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so I tried to take it easy at the stadium, and I was like, man, but I was getting hyped. So I was like, oh man, I'm starting to feel it a little bit. So Steph's like, let's go get some snacks. I'll go with snacks. I kid you not, folks, a 24-ounce can of beer at this building was $19.50. It was $20 for a can of beer, a can. So my sister was like, wow, let's go see, because they had a cocktail tent. It's like, all right, let's go see what the cocktails. Man, that shit was like $30. I was like, yo, listen, if there was ever a moment to be sober, this is it right here. This is a sign and a half for your ass. You need to keep yourself mature.
Well, I think that's the dude that was selling the beers going up and down the thing. Dude was like, yo, he's like, yo, the guy behind was like, yo, let me get 2. He's like, 2? All right. 33.25. I'm like, first of all, hold on. How the fuck did you get that math? What are you charging that you getting change on your math?
The math was not mathing at
all. Second of all, you charging $33 for 2 cups? You bugging, bro. Nah, I'm gonna eat when we got beer at home.
Yeah, and it's funny because the people in front of us and people behind us were lit.
Oh yeah. So they went. Listen, I judge no one. If you're there getting hammered at the event, if you drop $2,000 on beer, I don't give a shit. That's the place to do it.
Yeah,
right.
Go.
Like
it's WrestleMania.
These guys probably saved their money all year for
just to buy those beers.
They knew what it was. They ain't stupid. They said inflation's high. I gotta double my budget. They knew. So for me, I ain't doing that shit. Maybe if I saved responsibly all year, then I would have gone bananas. But even then, I don't really know. But I will never judge anybody buying those things. And those lines were long, dude.
Oh yeah. We also have the deal. This was new for me because you had asked me in the building, has this ever happened before? I'm like, no. We didn't get the packages or any of the pre-show material on the screen, which was a first. for me. I had always experienced it the other way. Instead, what we got in the building was a DJ who was spinning just left field shit. It'd be regular music, then it'd be remixes to the regular music, and then it'd be
Yeah.
wrestling themes, and
Themes.
then remixes to the themes.
Yeah, I heard like 3 different remixes to Shinsuke's music, bro.
Yeah, I was like, okay, DJ Ghost, I think his name was, and he was just doing his thing, I guess.
Did that kill the vibe for you though?
A little bit because
Like
I love
playing the themes was the thing for me. That I was like, damn, like I'm hearing Rhea, like I'm expecting to hear Rhea, but like you're playing Rhea, kind of like on the bigs right now. So it's just like you're kind of numbing me to the entrance.
Well, as we'll get to in a second, he didn't ruin it completely because we heard a version we had never heard before.
That is very true.
So, but I do get your point.
The thought was there. The thought was there.
Yeah, and the theme thing, like, I get what you're saying. Like, hey, I'm trying to save this orgasm for the real sex. Stop trying to jerk me off.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Yeah,
Like, get off.
Yeah,
Don't touch my dick.
Yeah, don't touch my dick.
I'm sensitive. Don't touch me.
Yeah, I'm already pre-coming. Just leave me. I'm ready. Just leave me alone. But it's the idea. It's for me. It's the lack of because with the pre-show you get the packages. You know what I'm saying? Like you get. It's stuff that hypes. It's part of the stuff that hypes you up. It's the point of the pre-show is to get you jumping and ready to go for the actual pay-per-view. Not having that, we just basically sat there for like an hour just waiting for shit to just happen, and I was like, not digging this part. The TV audience got a hell of a show. The in-building audience, not so much. So that part I wasn't really a big fan of, but I'm not going to sit here and dissect that. The show overall was pretty good. As a matter of fact, let's get into that. So, we already knew what the opening match was going to be for night 1 because it had been announced what it was going to be, so I wasn't surprised by it. I was just confused on the presentation. So what I mean by that is, and I think you can hear it because I recorded her entrance. I think you can actually hear my confusion on the phone. Because normally they pay that. First of all, we got a new signature. That was dope. That purple thing with the opening. That was cool. Then it hit us with the Wrestlemania video. And that's when we're supposed to get pyro. And then the ring announcer will introduce the first match. We didn't get the pyro. They did a scan instead. I was curious where we were headed with that. Then they did the America the Beautiful, I think it was, for the first night. And then we kind of they just started playing what I thought was a commercial for Becky Lynch's book. I thought it was a commercial. I was like, oh, they're plugging the book. I thought we were going to start the show. Why are we playing a commercial? And then the music hit, and I went, oh, fuck. It's part of her entrance. The book was part of her. That's how you plug your shit, not for nothing.
That's it, man.
That's how you do it. But she's got the entrance there with Becky. And then afterwards, we have the live entrance, another one. I got to experience 2 live entrances from Rhea Ripley live. That's pretty dope. But take me now to, because you were saying before about how you felt relatively calm and cool pretty much throughout. But now it's underway. Now here we go. Here are the entrances. Becky and Rhea were up first. What's going through your head now? How you feeling now?
Oh, I'm waiting for that entrance, man. That shit was good, dude. Rhea's energy was unmatched. Like, you want to talk about a wrestler's energy that whole night? When nobody more gas than her, bro. She felt every bit of that building when she came out.
Yeah, so I said it when I was sitting next to you, and I'll repeat it here because I think first of all, I'm going to repeat it because I thought it was a dope line. But she looks as confident as she has ever looked in her entire career. She is aware, and I said this in the building as it was happening, she is aware at this point. There is not a bitch on this planet that can fuck with her. She knows it. She is the baddest bitch on the planet. Her entrance, the timing with her entrance, the energy she brought to it, playing along with the band and all that, and then even down to the entrance in the ring, she is fully aware that she is one bad mother. Shut your mouth. She knows she is the shit. And she wrestles that way. What did you think of the first match, Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley?
It's exactly what I said it was gonna be. It was gonna be a fucking great match. Like I said, I didn't care too much for the Becky build. Like, you don't need to sell me Becky. Like, I'm aware of what she does.
Yeah.
The package was really good before. Um, but yeah, honestly, the match was exactly what I said it was gonna be. It's gonna be a fucking sick ass match. And to be honest with you, there's a common theme, and we looked at it later after this. That it, like I said, the thing went about 4 fucking hours long.
Right.
But the the pacing of each match, I think, was just really good. I think it was pretty consistent when we looked at it down the line.
Yeah.
Everyone was hitting the exact match time, and that flow felt so good. And they set it off. The matches were much shorter than you would see before, and it was good energy. It was great execution. They told a great story in the ring, and one of the few, and we'll get to that. But Rhea goes over and retains her belt.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think the fucking match was good, man. It was just fun to watch that live. The energy was great.
I think I was saying to myself as the match was happening, I said, holy shit, Rhea has done it again.
Yeah.
She has done it again. She's once again figured out a fucking way to have one of the best matches on the fucking card. She does that shit.
Well, don't take away
wrestling.
from Becky. If there's one thing, I don't like what they're doing story-wise with Becky, but there's very few that can general that ring like Becky can.
Yeah. She's learned to do a lot of nothing but make something during the big matches, and I'll give her that. It was a dope back and forth, but still, your women's world champion, it's Rhea Ripley. To your point before about the times, this match, Rhea and Becky, 17 minutes. The following match, 17 minutes. The next match, 11 followed by 11. The one in the middle was 8, and to be honest with you, that's exactly what it needed to be. Yeah. And then 15 and 44. So there you go. And that's to me, that's WrestleMania. That ebb and flow is exactly how that's supposed to look.
Perfect timing, and it felt good. It wasn't like we had one short match and then one really long ass match and then one short match and then one really long ass match. Like, that pacing is weird. It was just like, I don't know, it just hit really good. I'm telling you, 4 hours felt like nothing, bro. By the time we got to the last match, I was like, yo, we main event right now?
It is time.
It's cold and I want to go home.
Yes.
But I don't want to leave. Yeah. So how do we make this work, guys?
Listen, I tried. I'm glad you brought that up too, because I think it's understated. I think it's 100% understated how fucking cold that building was.
It was brick.
It was absolutely cold, brick. And it was funny because they had I didn't realize it because I was in the building when we watched the show back. They had Samantha, the ring announcer, in a hoodie, a jacket, and a blanket. Bitch, it was cold.
It was cold.
It was fucking
so cold that in the building,
yeah,
there was a talk in our area, and I'm sure across the building, where it's like, yo, this crowd seems kind of flat, man. This ain't Philly, bro. Yeah. Like, where's the energy? People behind us. Stephanie was saying it. People in front of us. Like, everyone had the same idea. Like, bro, this crowd is a little flat, right? But then you watch the I think it was the post show or the conference after night 2, where Triple H literally said the same thing. Someone's going, man, the second night is very lively, and Triple H goes, yeah, that's because they're not frozen.
Yeah,
like the first night was ice cold, bro. It was insane.
And I'll give him credit for realizing that. It's just like attributing that to this, like accounting for the fact that this audience is fucking brick. Steph was the first one who was like, I don't really feel that cold. Yeah, because you're bundled up and you were prepared for this.
Yeah, she came smart. Yeah,
she came to the situation with some knowledge here. And yes, we all knew that it would be cold, but at the same time, not this fucking cold. This is cold. I've been this, like I said before, my 4th WrestleMania. The 3rd one, to be fair, was in Florida, so that doesn't count. But the first 2 were in New York, or New Jersey, I should say. MetLife. It was not that fucking cold. Holy fuck. This was cold. This was cold. And I was like, no, that's why I was like, yeah, we need to get this show moving, because this is fucking cold. Now, I know people are going to say, AJ, you had such a great time. You thought all these matches to some degree was dope. Yeah, up until this next match. So the ladder match, you had way more fun with the entrances to this match than I did because you had me bugging because you were like, you're messing up.
No, that shit was crazy.
Dave,
I just felt for him.
yeah,
Like, this is a big moment.
Yeah, it's true. It's their first WrestleMania.
It doesn't matter if it's your first or your 15th. It's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You couldn't sleep last night because of this.
Yep.
You're thinking about hitting all your shit. And now, to be fair, and what your wife pointed out, where it's like there's a lot of things here that feel extremely expedited. She called it early, and as time went on, that came back to kind of bite me in the ass a little bit. But it was clear they were expediting some of these entrances. So now you don't even get the full hit.
Yeah.
You're not getting the full hit. You got to come out, you got to hit your shit, you got 2 seconds, and you got to go. And you come out to someone else's theme?
Oh,
Bro, I'm hot, bro. I'm hot. Fuck that.
So
Do it over. Run it back.
so-
I'm going back there.
Yeah, so what we're talking about, folks, is in case, because I watched it back, and I think they fixed it in the replay. In the building, what happened was when the ladder match was beginning, they did a whole package on it, and the first team to come out was DIY, and they botched up the music with the video. It was just like mistimed or whatever. That was the first one that we caught. And then the next one was Awesome Truth, which they nailed, but for whatever reason, they couldn't get off the theme and they couldn't get off the video. Eventually, they got off the theme and played New Catch Republic's theme, but it still had the Awesome Truth video. They didn't have the video until they were like already halfway down the fucking ramp or whatever the case may be. And I remember on the round table, I was like, I guarantee at least 2 botches minimum. And we were laughing because they botched twice in the entrance. The entrance had 2 fucking botches in it. So, yeah, it wasn't a good start, so to speak, for the ladder match. Also, we had an issue because in the introductions, they had mentioned something. I didn't catch the whole thing about the 12 competitors will compete until both championships were taken down, and that's when we had noticed that the 2 belts were split up.
Yep.
And we were like, what the fuck is that? You have to get both belts for this shit to be over? We were under the impression that they were still unified. It was never explained to us that they were splitting the belts. That you're going to grab one pair of belts and the match will continue until someone else grabs the other pair. Or not even somebody else. You can grab both pairs and still have them unified.
You can still be the undisputed, but
but you'd have to.
You may not.
Yeah, there's a chance you may not. We in the building did not know that because there seemed to be mass confusion throughout. I mean, the people in front of us, the people behind us, it seemed like throughout that whole section, there was confusion. And at first, it was quiet confusion. But then when A-Town Down Under, Theory and Waller grabbed the SmackDown titles, everyone popped like the match was over. As in, like, popped in the sense of, like, their heels, so a lot of them were booing, right? So, like, boo, these people suck. They thought the match was over. And then all of a sudden, they started setting up another ladder, and that's when it dawned on us, they're separating the belts.
Yeah.
Like, we had to come to the conclusion ourselves. I don't have a fucking memory of anybody on WWE television telling me that they were going to separate the belts at WrestleMania. I have no memory of that. And we watched the shows. So I was like, this feels weird. I don't know what's happening here. But they did. They separated it. A-Town Down Under, as I just said, won the SmackDown titles. The Awesome Truth won the Raw Tag Team titles, which is R-Truth's first WrestleMania win. And my prediction came true. That R-Truth's best moment in this match would have absolutely fucking nothing to do with ladders. Obviously, his big spot of the night. Once again, the infamous hot tag, baby. He got a hot tag in the fucking Money in the Money in Bank. Jesus Christ. In the ladder match, he had a hot tag. Only R-Truth, my guy, can get a pop like that for a fucking tag in a ladder match.
Counted his own pinfall, and the whole crowd did it with him.
And popped like he did for real win the belts.
Dude, I just, oh God.
He's so good. Come on.
I'll tell you what, though. If I ever meet that guy in person, dude, I might geek out. I'm not going to hold you, dude. It's just something about, like, it's there's very few people, and I put the Miz into that. I will put Miz in this group, which is why I love these two together. R-Truth is one of those few people that I get the energy of, dude. He just does it because he loves it.
Oh.
And then he does it at such a high, unique way that, like, I don't know, dude. I can go on for days about R-Truth, man. That guy is just a fucking legend, man.
And it was so funny because there were so many times in the match where Truth was alone in the ring and the people were going nuts. They wanted him
They
to
love
win
Truth.
this fucking match so goddamn bad. And he did. And they won the Raw tag team titles. Only for, did you see Raw? Did you
Yes.
see the Judgment Day celebrating in the ring, and then Truth just shows up with the belt out of nowhere?
Yeah, he brought the belts back
He
to
brought
the
the
Judgment
belt,
Day, baby.
completely leaving out the fact that he also took them from the Judgment Day.
He's not a part of this group. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
Yes, he is.
He said, "Now listen, I'm only half the tag team champions, and I know that we really picky about letting people in this group, but we should really talk about the Miz being in this group." This dude is a national goddamn treasure. Protect him at all costs.
Protect him at all costs, please. Jesus.
So that was
He's
the
so
ladder match.
comfortable.
I know people were waiting for me to kill it. It wasn't. Look, it's a multi-man fucking ladder match.
It wasn't the worst thing in the world.
It wasn't the fucking worst. It wasn't
It was
gonna
a
kill
great
my
piss break.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna fucking sit here and let something like that really fuck with my head. And I'm glad that I didn't, because something later fucked with my head. But we'll get into that in just a second. All right. So the following contest was my son's match, the Lucha match. Rey Mysterio and Andrade defeating Santana. Oh no, Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom. I really did think they were going to give the heels their win back on this. I was actually surprised that they put Rey and the baby faces over. But then when I saw the extra large white guys in the Lucha mask, I said, "Uh-oh, something going down." And then here it is. They couldn't help themselves. We're in Philly. There was nothing we could do, folks. I made the phone calls. They went unheard. They, for some reason, felt the need to include the fucking Kelseys in WrestleMania.
Well, that wasn't both of them.
I know, but still, I mean,
I got you.
I mean, just in general,
The family,
just,
the bloodline.
the one who was involved is the one who was supposed to be. They're smart, because if they'd have had Travis in there, he'd have got booed out of the fucking building.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But Jace is a god in that building, so they knew right off the bat, okay, let's keep this. This is a good idea. I'm saying this. Listen, I got nothing against Jason Kelsey. I actually do believe he's the man as well. To have the recognition and support that he has for the position he played. How many centers get that kind of love?
Not many at
Not
all.
many. He
Not
gets
many.
love in Philly. They love him in Philly. So I'm not going to hate on the brother, but this was a weird match for him to be a part of.
Yes and no, because I will tip the hat to Triple H, because he is so far showing me very intellectual strategy, right? Like, he's doing things like, for instance, Meek Mill saying, "Yo, you can't come into Philly without like me, and like I got to be a part of this," basically, right? And for Triple H to respond, "I got you," like he's doing things where, because WrestleMania and like stars it's not a foreign thing. We have those, right? But like, he's doing it. I don't know. Maybe I'm out of place with this thought. Maybe Vince has done this, but like, I don't know. It just kind of feels like the way he structured this Mania to cater to the Philadelphia audience.
Yeah.
It felt right.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt like this wasn't forced. This was very organic. So for this to happen in that match, and it was only 2 seconds long, the match was over.
Yeah.
They came in, the crowd exploded. There was very few moments that night where the crowd exploded, and that was one of them.
Oh yeah.
They lost their goddamn minds when they took their masks off.
It's Jason Kelsey.
So
he's the man.
He's doing the wrestling thing. He's doing the storyline, and so far he's been pretty solid throughout this whole night and the next night with just who he selects to do certain things in the area, and it just feels good.
Yeah.
Entertainment wise, that's what I meant to say. Entertainment wise.
To add to your point, I was disappointed, and again, this is me getting into my own head. I only blame myself for this level of disappointment. That we didn't get something involving Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, yeah.
but,
He's
here's
busy. He's booked and busy.
here's why I wasn't really all that upset because of what you just said. Because of what you just said, and it just made me think about it right now. Triple H didn't. I mean, the closest that we got, that DJ played the song at one point. And that's him playing up Philly too, to be fair. But
yeah, he was definitely playing Philly hits.
yeah, he was
sure.
playing Philly hits for sure. But here's the thing. Here's why I wasn't really all that upset. Because to be honest with you, I'm a 40-year-old man. And Sylvester Stallone, to me, screams Philly. But I'm also a 40-year-old man from New York. What the fuck do I know about fucking Philly, right? It seems to me that he did play up the Philly angle, but he did it in a contemporary way. These are the stars of this environment today. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the Meek Mill thing, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't get Sylvester Stallone. Oh, the millennial didn't get his guy. Okay, cool. We got ours. Meek Mill's our guy.
Let me tell you something. Dreams and Nightmares is literally the soundtrack of Philadelphia.
Oh, see,
I recorded it when they were playing it when the DJ was playing it in the stadium, bro. I'm not a Philly guy, and I was gassed. I'm like, oh, let's go. Who's got a knife? I want to start stabbing people, dude. Let's go.
Who's got a knife?
Yeah, throw me one so we can knife fight. Like, that shit make you want to fight, bro. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not. Hey, I was in the building vibing with it just as well. I was vibing just as well. And then, so Rey Mysterio and Andrade won this match. The match itself, fun. This was just a fun match to watch. These four guys just went in there and just had a regular ass, exciting tag team match. They were, unlike last year, because I'll make the argument, with the exception of Charlotte and Flair, that Rey and Dominic had a very good story and a very good match at WrestleMania just last year. I thought, myself personally, that was a really good match. And this year, I wasn't as hyped because I really felt like that match was thrown together at the last minute. So I'm thinking to myself, they must not have too much planned. And when they did regular entrances, I was like, all right, makes sense. There's not too much planned. It was thrown together. But they did do enough in the match to validate, to me anyway, that it was going to be on WrestleMania. I feel like they represented the culture well. I felt that they brought as much lucha as they could, considering that it's a WWE match. And there's only but so much lucha they're going to allow you to do. I said it in the building. I'll say it here again. I'm watching Rey Mysterio live as an adult. Next to me is my child, who is 9, who made his own sign for the first time. It's a Rey Mysterio sign. He loves him some Rey Mysterio. He's going nuts over Rey Mysterio, and he's booing Dom, and he's playing up what the building's doing, right? He's 9. Mm-hmm. He's playing up his environment. And the reason why I bring it up is because when I was a kid, I loved me some Rey Mysterio as well. And after all these surgeries and the age and time, he has got no goddamn business still being this goddamn nasty. He shouldn't still be this good. He's not the Rey Mysterio of old. Don't let me sit here and try to hype you into thinking that
he's refined WWE Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
Which is not a bad thing.
That's
some of the shit on WWE, as much as you want, is about sometimes like how they don't let the wrestlers go out there and kill themselves. Mm-hmm. This is the level of Tom Brady longevity you get because of that system.
Yep. It saved his career, if you want to think about it. And he's got the longevity. He's in tag matches, so he's being hidden rather well. And
he's doing his job, though. He's carrying the young talent. He's giving them the splash.
The young Hispanic talent at that.
That's very specific.
And he's been working hand.
Except for the one non-Latino, as Dominic pointed out. It's like the guy's not even Latino.
Dirty Dom, baby.
Love him, man.
Gotta love you some dirty fucking Dom. So the next match here, brother versus brother, Uso versus Uso, Jay versus Jimmy. Okay, so here's the deal. We heard it after the fact. like right after the show was over, Steph was actually telling us, she was just like, I felt like that crowd was dead. You said it earlier, it didn't feel like a Philly crowd. And I was trying to tell people, it's not. It's WrestleMania. This is a worldwide crowd. This is people from everywhere. The hood people from Philly aren't going to be there both nights, and they're not going to be the majority. It's just no way. But I'm going to tell you this. If you felt the building on night one was dead, I'm going to give it to you. I'll secede
I got chills
that.
right now.
I'll secede that to you. But it wasn't dead here. When Lil Wayne came out and started his piece and it transitioned into Jay, I cannot put into fucking words how fucking lit that fucking audience was. This all 72,000 people went nuts when Jay Uso's music fucking hit and he did his entrance. I heard people tell me that when they went out to get the popcorn or whatever it is they were online for, when his music hit, the fucking concession people who can't see the ring were bouncing to that shit. Jay Uso's entrance is fire.
I think number one right now, dude. I ain't gonna hold you.
Fire.
It's the greatest entrance that I've seen.
Woo!
And I got that shit live, and that's one of the few that I got the full. I threw my neck out. I did not realize I was doing that so much that the next day I couldn't turn my head.
Yeah.
Like dude, I went so hard for that song. That shit was crazy.
That entrance is so fucking good. You can't
so much energy.
You can't not feel that shit. It's just me, Oos. Day one is just he did the turnbuckle one with the hands. And I got video on my phone too. With the exception of the yes chants, when they used to do the yes with Daniel Bryan, it felt a lot like that. Mm-hmm. But it just was way different. Way different because usually with yes, you're just doing the yes. You're in place, your arms are moving. Rhythm or no rhythm, white, black, brown, I don't give a fuck. Everyone was jamming with the arm, and they moved their whole body back and forth. Just me, Oos. And they wanted to do it so bad, he did it on the turnbuckle. Then when he was walking around the ring during his intro, they were doing it. And then he did that shit on the rope when he was just vibing.
He
with
hit
72.
that rope. Bro, mind you, we're already like a minute into the intro.
Yeah.
People have been doing this for a whole minute straight. When he hit that rope, I think it just like doubled.
Yeah.
Something about when he hit that rope, it was to the point, dude. Lil Wayne is a multi-platinum, he's done shows, he's packed out arenas, he's done all this stuff.
Uh-huh.
The look on his face when it went from a Millie to Jay, you could see the energy smack him in the face.
Yeah.
Like he was like, he literally had that, oh shit, like
Wayne
what
got
is that?
Wayne got hyped.
Yo, I don't think
he started ad-libbing during the song.
Yeah.
He was hyped. He's like, it's just you, Oos. Do your thing, Oos.
That shit was hard.
I was like, yeah. And then the follow-up, Jimmy's music. Tell me that shit don't go hard.
I love that theme. I love that theme. And like in hindsight, thinking about it, I'm sitting there and I'm still like, I feel the electric still from Jay.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy come out and I'm like, that's my man, dude. He comes out. I'm like, the theme is hard, but like everyone's dead silent. And it from like being in the building, I'm like, oh, it's like killing my juice, right? Like I feel the electricity coming down. But when I watched it on TV, I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, this was a pretty good like spike, and then it's just like the heel moment just plummeted, right? Like it just went straight to fuck, this guy ruined it type of shit, right?
You suck.
Which is awesome for Jimmy. Like
Yeah.
that's exactly what. Because I said in the building, I'm like, man, he doesn't have like that thing, like Jay, you're shaking your arm, but like if he's going full heel and that, maybe he doesn't need that. He just needs to do exactly what he did. Have a hot theme, come out and laugh at you because you're an idiot and I'm awesome. And you're all losers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I loved it. The match was good too. I liked it.
So his entrance, Jimmy's entrance was cut short. Jay goes through the ropes, attacks immediately. I love the start. It's a blood feud. It's brother versus brother. Let's get this out of the way. Here's the thing, and the criticism has been heavy. There's a lot of people who will sit there and try to tell me this was the worst match of the night,
What?
possibly the worst match of the weekend. This is what I've heard. This is the reviews, right?
Okay. All
And
right.
I think that's taster's choice. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, I think that particular match was perfect for the city it was in. I think the city of brotherly love and playing with that between the two brothers and the storytelling of, come on, man, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I took it too far, bro. That was me. That was my bad. And then, whoopsie. And then super kicked this nigga. They tried to continue the bloodline story, and I get it. I do. But I get this overwhelming sense that that's not what the people wanted to see in this particular match, because they had done all of that to get there. This was the blow off. Okay, I'm done with the story. Let's have the match. And they kept the story going. Now, hindsight being 2020, now that we know how night 2 goes, that match makes more sense now as to why they were keeping that story going as opposed to blowing it off, because of how night 2 ended. And we'll get there. But just keep the pin in this one for a second. I'll explain later what I mean by keeping it going, because I think people were a little upset that they didn't just go balls to the wall and end this fucking thing so that everybody could move on, because this blood has been brewing for like a year and a half now. But they had a reason, folks, and we'll get to it a little later, because up next was Black Girl Magic. It was 6-woman tag team action. Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane against Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. And for a split second, you got nervous. For a split second, you got nervous because my brother came to WrestleMania to get him a little Bianca Belair magic. And as Damage Control came out for their entrance, which was all right, we started noticing they were setting up the 3 girls on the stage together. And you were like, fuck no. They better not combine this entrance together. I need to hear Bianca.
They did, though. They did.
They gave you
They
more
did.
Bianca than the other two. So they were like, they gave you that
Yeah,
one
but
major
it's
thing.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like getting like a milkshake with the whipped cream, but they don't give you a cherry. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, take this back. Like, what's the point?
Oh, because you didn't get the.
I didn't get the whip.
I give it the world. Yeah,
All
baby.
right, it's all right. I'll take it. I'll tell you what, though, pound for pound, sonically, when it comes to music, there's no theme like that fucking Damage Control. That shit goes, dude. I thought
Yeah.
the speakers were gonna blow out.
That
The amount of
bass.
bass
Yeah.
in that shit was crazy. I'm sitting here like, I had to say it to myself like 30 times. I hate these guys.
Yes.
Theme is
Yeah,
hard.
theme,
Like
bro.
this shit is hard. So yeah, I will give props. Some props is due. That Damage Control, that
Yeah.
that shit hits in the stadium.
Yeah,
I just had to point that out. That was a standout moment for me.
This, as the kids say, slaps.
This
And
shit, I was like, yo, I hate them, but this is hard.
this group is garbage, but this song though.
That's just crazy.
They had an 8-minute match. It was exactly what it needed to be. Everybody hit their big spots. Jade Cargill walked away looking like an absolute beast. And I was curious where this was going to go afterwards. I don't know if you saw SmackDown last night.
I
Be-
did not get a chance to watch
Bianca
it.
and Jade were a tag team last night.
I saw a glimpse of that.
So
yeah.
I
I'm gonna watch
think-
it actually.
Yeah,
tonight.
I think we're building the blocks. This should be
A return eventually.
either of a turn or just tagging them up and just for now. Yeah, we're building.
They've already snipped it. What was it? Was it the Royal Rumble? When was it when Jade came out? Yeah, I think it was the Royal Rumble.
her
And then
debut?
everyone was off to the side, and both Bianca and Jade turned around in the middle of the ring, and the crowd fucking went nuts.
Yeah,
And I'm sitting there like, don't touch each other.
don't
Don't
touch.
touch each other.
And they didn't.
Please don't touch it. And they did.
And they didn't. They
And they didn't look at each other again for the rest of the fight. So, like you said, with the tag team, we're slow building.
Slow
giving her
building.
exposure,
Give it time.
And then we're gonna let the general this when it comes to whenever they decide to let this one go.
let them do something maybe at
I don't know. I
Summer-
kind of say it's a mania match.
Oh, them 1-on-1?
Yes,
Definitely Mania. But
exhibition. Mania
Yeah,
match, and
Mania
it
match. Yeah,
gives Jade a year before her
yeah,
first.
exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if she singles before that, but we'll see.
A little bit. I think you got to put her over some people just to build
Yeah,
that up.
yeah.
This next match is
We'll
gonna
see.
hurt my gut. It hurts my stomach. This next match hurts me to the goddamn hilt.
Are you gonna say what I think you are?
Well,
The spoiled match from the jump.
yep. So
Damn.
our next contest here for the Intercontinental title, Gunther and Sami Zayn. And boy, when I tell you, you can hear it on my phone. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm angry. I'm in a weird place in my life on the phone. They gave it away early, and the
Early,
way that
yeah.
Sammy with his family, and then Kevin, and then the walk through, you can hear me as soon as you see him with the family. I'm screaming out loud. He's gonna fucking drop it. I can't
No,
fucking believe it.
it's funny too because you say that, and the whole time I'm holding out hope, and I'm like, no, this is really long.
Well, you know what's funny? When I said that out loud, I felt the vibe in the row in front of me and behind me get quiet. They're like, no.
It's like no, that is
It did,
family and
it
then
did
the
it didn't
kid.
really start clicking into the audience, the section I was in that overheard me, because I was, as soon as I saw that, I said, "Oh my god, he's gonna fucking drop it."
No,
And
dude.
at first everybody was like, "No," and then when the Kevin Owens part happened, everyone was, "Oh
Dude,
shit."
no, I'm sitting there and it's all happening. And I see him talking to the kid and he stands up and he's getting ready to go to the ring. And I'm like, no, no, no. There's still hope.
There's still hope.
How do you make Gunther look even better by showing this and having him shit on him still?
Oh,
This is great. And he's walking, and as he leaves his family, I'm expecting the screen to change, play music, and then he comes out. He's
yeah,
still walking. I'm like,
yep.
what the fuck is happening? He
All the way.
hits the corner with Kevin sitting there. I said, it's done.
It's
It's fucking done.
done. I was like,
The
"Oh,
moment I saw
fuck."
Kevin, this is done. I can't believe this. I already know I'm sad. I have to watch the whole thing knowing I'm going to be sad. And that's exactly what fucking happened.
Now, here's the thing. I said it on the roundtable. I said this is a chemistry wise, this is a beautiful match. One guy who's overly physical and dominates physically in his matches, and that's what he's best at. And the other guy who is great at being dominated and getting his ass kicked and fighting from underneath. I said those things out loud. So I know, okay, what I'm saying when I say the next part. Because at the roundtable, I said this was the wrong opponent for Gunther. Because if you're going to drop the belt, drop it to somebody at 666 days. Drop it to somebody. It's going to actually elevate. I don't see a point in this title reign if that wasn't the case. Now, if you're going to sit there and tell me, well, it elevated Gunther. Okay, but you can do two things at once. He was already elevated, Gunther, to the point where he could be. After this Intercontinental title run, and you said it to me in the building, I was like, oh, I don't mind him losing it here because you know he's got Cody next, right? I'm not even opposed to that. But you could have done two birds with one stone here. Giving this belt to Sammy, as great as Sammy is, and I've got no ill will towards Sammy, he's a great performer. But we've been down this path before. He ain't getting any more over than he is right now. He's over like fucking Rover. This is not establishing Sammy in any way. This does nothing. We did this last year. He was in the main event, he won the tag titles, and then he disappeared for 6 months. He's going to do the same thing here.
So after thinking about it for a little bit, I think I've come to the terms of if they continue with Gable, with going after this belt, I think it makes more sense for Sammy to ever drop it than it does Gunther. Like I think it hurts Gunther to drop it to Gable, but it doesn't hurt him to drop it to Sammy. But it makes other losses believable with Sammy. That's the only thing I can come up with, to be honest with you. I had to sit and grieve for a little bit.
That's a grief.
So, but Triple H, that son of a bitch, he's good. He's good. He made me forget all about it the next night because who was on Raw the next night that we just can't wait to see against Gunther?
On Monday?
Yeah.
Who came back?
It was who was the first match? It was Shinsuke and who?
Oh, and Ilya. Yeah.
Yes, baby, dude. I was like, you know what? Okay, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Let's get this feud going again. Let's go.
Okay, all right. I can see the excitement in that. And I think it's funny. I don't know if you were hearing on Raw, but when his match was happening against Shinsuke, when Ilya was fighting Shinsuke, they had mentioned, he goes, last night Sami Zayn defeated Gunther for the Intercontinental title. It's not only the end of his 666-day run as champion, but before Sami pinned him on Sunday, the last guy to pin Gunther was Ilya.
Mm-hmm.
Ilya was the last guy to beat Gunther.
Dude.
And he beat him for a championship at that.
Let's fucking go.
So let's fucking go.
Right, fuck that story. We're on to this one now. Come on. Let's go.
Yeah. We proved this. We proved that point.
Yeah, that sucked. I'm good. I'm over grieving now. I'm on to the new bitch.
on to the new bitch. There it is. And that leads us to our main event. Now, our main event for night one, I was bamboozled, hoodwinked even, bumfuzzled, because I was getting too hyped. That was my first issue. I was getting too hyped. Gunther and Sami were in the ring, I say about 9:45, about 9:45. And I'm thinking to myself, we're going to get out of here in a decent hour, baby. We got time on the clock. We had one match left. And I was like, oh, this is it. And then when Gunther and Sami ended their match, they played 17 goddamn commercials. I said, what in the Sam hell are we sitting here bullshitting for? I didn't realize what they were setting up. And then the promo package for the tag match was like 18 minutes long. I'm like, what the fuck? This is taking... And then the entrances. So Cody comes out, basic entrance. Seth Rollins comes out. He's got the garb. I didn't realize what he had in store for us for night two. But he's got the garb. He's dressed to the nines. Then comes the final boss, The Rock, with a full video game-like uploading entrance, complete with Fire Bull logo, and what I can only assume is his Dance Fever outfit with the bell bottoms and the open vest. He looked like a Native American on top and a 70s black exploitation on the bottom.
He has been in his John Travolta bag since he's come back.
He has. Did you see him behind the scenes when he had, what was it? I think it was the Hall of Fame. He came out of the hotel room in the all-white satin fucking outfit. This nigga is on his game right now. Sorry. He is on his game.
He said, Seth, let me show you how to really do it.
Yeah, he is out here he's flexing.
No. He said, let me show you how we used to do this back in the day.
Let me learn you something, young man. He said that to Cody. Remember when he was beating him by the buses? I'm gonna learn you something about hard times. Oh, he getting. All of a sudden he got black again. What happened? So we've got this tag match. The Bloodline, The Rock, Roman Reigns against Cody and Seth. We were all in agreement at the round table that this Bloodline was going to win this matchup. It was obvious. They're going to stack the deck against Cody the next night. It was a dumb moment. So the only hitch in the giddy up was how was the match going to work, right? Rock hadn't wrestled a match in forever. Seth's on a bad wheel. Cody and Roman have to save something for the next night, so they can't carry this. We have to figure out how this match is going to work. And this, my friends, will be the theme of night two, so let's start it here and now. This, ladies and gentlemen, this matchup was the beginning of MVP Rollins' run. Because for whatever reason, Seth Rollins woke up that morning and chose violence. He said, I'm going to carry every fucking single bit of this fucking match on my one good fucking leg and my fucking popsicle stick back. I'm going to make this shit happen. He was in there. With The Rock, he was in there with Roman. He was doing his goddamn thing. I did not think that this match was going to look structurally the way that it did. With the back and forth. This was, as my wife called it, textbook Southern Territory Tag Team Wrestling. They worked holds and took their time and worked the crowd. And there was cut off the ring strategy. There was fast-paced tagging in and out, drop a man, tag him out, keep him fresh. All the old school tag team rules were in effect here. They did fight in the crowd, but it was minimal. We came back. A lot of it took place in the ring. They had an old school Memphis territory tag team match. This was old school as the hilt, even down to the heels making the mistake. Roman Reigns trying to spear one person. Seth Rollins pushes Cody out of the ropes. He sells The Rock, and The Rock sells it like he fucking got shot in the gut with a 12-gauge shotgun. He went down holding his ribs, his mouth. He lost all the air he's had all year. All saved into his lungs, all gone, all at once. This match took forever, but it didn't feel like forever. What do you think about this match?
No, they told the story. They did a very good job at keeping the pacing.
Yeah.
I don't think there was too much of a dull moment. They definitely executed or.
Were
That's
you
not the
shocked
word.
that Rock didn't seem like he was Rock didn't seem like he was too far out of this?
What do you mean? As far as like being
Blown,
gassed?
yeah, being gassed, being blown up. He really felt like he was in this matchup.
I mean, trust me, there's a lot of older people that I would assume to come in and like get gassed doing a full match, but I think he's been in better wrestling shape.
Oh yeah, of course.
But if there is one person that I don't think would have been blown up, it would have been him.
Well, I was actually anticipating it, to be honest with you, because the last time I saw him 10 years before this, he was blown up. I didn't understand why he wouldn't be blown
And
up.
it could have been it could have very well been a lesson learned.
Oh, there you go.
You know, I was like, nah, fuck that. If I'm getting back in the ring, I'm going like I need to work on cardio for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not fucking tearing my shit up this. Oh, fuck.
Nah. And like I said, they paced it well. There was a lot of time to get air.
Yes, there was.
And I love how they protected him. Fuck what anybody says. Seth is not healthy.
No, he's not. And I got exposed big time in this 2 weekends.
He is not.
No, he's not.
But boy, if you're not like, boy, are you fucking like, did he make me feel like he was? Because he just, dude, I have a whole new level of respect for Seth.
MVP.
When it comes to storytelling. Like, you go back to, because I've been watching some videos like here and there on like YouTube and shit or popping up on Facebook of people kind of like piecing the things together. And it's just like, fuck, is this like a masterpiece of storytelling?
Yeah.
So, dude, we'll get to a little bit deeper here on the second night, but boy, this dude did. Oh my God, he killed it. He killed that shit. Absolutely killed the shit. And I love, and I know that everyone has noticed that when they did split and one, The Rock and Cody were over on the outside, and Seth and Roman were over on the other, the camera was damn near exclusively on Cody and Rock. And obviously it was for a reason, because those two need the rest.
Yeah.
They both have things going on IRL outside of this shit. They need to rest fight with no attention on them. Obviously they're still doing their thing, but The Rock, I could definitely see like, look, you're going to be the face of this company. You're going to be the one that carries the load. You're going to carry the load in this match. I'm going to whoop your ass for about an hour, and it's going to be you and me going.
Yeah.
And the tension is going to be on us. You are going to get no fucking break. You're selling this whole match. And I think that's the way it should have been. Those two should have fought on the side and rested while The Rock had one night to do. So he'll go hard, and Cody, you're going to go every night hard because this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you wanted it so goddamn bad. Here you go. Bust your ass now.
Here you go. There's no nights off. There's
no nights off. You want to go to where the other...
Show me.
Because Cody, if you think about it, of the four, Seth's been there, Roman's been there, Rock's been there. The guy who has not reached that mountain yet, who has not been asked to put in the time as champion, is Cody.
Yeah.
So
it's funny.
This is
hold on. Pause. I love that you said that because I remember distinctively a few months ago I was having a conversation with someone and he goes, "Man, I really hope Cody wins." This was months. I think like Royal Rumble. We were talking about this. He's like, "Man, I really think Cody will be able to do it." And I'm like, "Yeah, that would be cool because I think Roman needs a break, but I don't think Cody can do it." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I don't think he's a workhorse." He goes, "Of course he's a workhorse. He went to New Japan or whatever the hell side stuff he's done." Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah, dude, but the WWE is different. I could be out of touch.
No,
but I don't think I've seen enough from Cody to tell me he's gonna do it. Like he's going to be the workhorse, and that's what he had to display here in these two nights. Hindsight, I think he did it. So we'll
Yeah.
we'll see what happens going forward.
Can I jump on a point that you just mentioned? 'Cause
Absolutely.
fans
Yeah.
do
I
this.
mean, I cut you off.
Yeah, fans
why not?
fans do that shit a lot. The WWE is a completely different fucking animal from whatever you think you know. People traveling a lot is not the grind, and it's not being a workhorse. Okay? Yes, he went to Japan. Yes, he worked Ring of Honor and TNA and AEW all at the same goddamn time and blah, 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 blah. TNA has a few events a month. Ring of Honor had even less. New Japan does not fly out people all the time. And AEW was at least doing weekly television. I'll give them that. But they don't work the house show loop. They don't work live events. WWE is a completely different animal. And this
Yeah,
is
you're just talking about ring shit.
yeah.
You've heard Triple H say, "Yo, we're all over the place.
Yeah.
Social media, we're doing community
This
work."
is you don't understand the grind that he is talking about. Workhorse does not. When Seth Rollins said that he was going to be the workhorse champion, he did not mean that
He was wrestling every night.
I'm gonna not that he's not that he did not mean that he was just going to have tough matches all the time and grind it out. The workhorse championship in WWE means doing all of that stuff. It's having the matches. It's doing the autograph sessions. It's doing the appearances. It's being on the plane to go to Good Morning America, then to Jimmy Fallon, then to do Hot 97, and then going to the arena and wrestling for 30 goddamn minutes. And then it's getting on a plane, or in their case, the bus, and going to the next town and doing that all over again every day for weeks, turning into months, turning into fucking years. That's the grind. That's what that means. CM Punk almost died from the fucking grind, okay? There's no time off. Oh, well, that's changing. Let me not say that anymore. That's changing with the time off deal. But the way that it used to be, there's no time off. There's no off season. Unless you break something, you're on the road all the fucking time. You do not see your family. You do not see your friends. You do not have a life. You live out of a suitcase, out of a different hotel every fucking day. That is a different lifestyle. You will go insane with that Lesnar was getting paid millions of dollars, and he used the phrase, I had to get off the fucking circus because it's non-stop. You're on call all the time. You do not have the option of doing anything else with your life besides whatever the WWE
because if you
does.
think about it, I think working out is like their only self-time.
Yeah, and that's hard.
And that's stressful. It's not like you're reading a book at the beach, bro. You're building your body up. You're exhausting yourself.
You're exhausting yourself to go out there
even
and take
your free time is you burning out.
Yes.
So it's crazy.
And you
so
have
I never saw that.
And you have to diet, and you have to exercise, and you got to do this shit sometimes with people you've never met. If there's a new signee, if you're doing your thing in WWE and you're just really Damian Priest, you're just reaching the upper echelon. You're just about there. And then all of a sudden, there's a new fucking signee that comes in off the fucking street. He's got a little buzz on the internet, and now he's ahead of you on the pecking order. How does that make you feel now, right? But no, it's WWE now. It's the new era. We have to just sit here and swallow it now. Otherwise, you'd be a bitch. You're not being a team player. It's all about business, right? So there's a lot of shit that people don't understand that goes into play. These are not toys. I keep telling people that. Wrestlers are not toys. Don't let Tony Khan fool you into thinking anything else. Wrestlers are not toys. This shit hurts. And it's tough to do every fucking night. But we enjoy doing it for you because it's entertaining you and we get a kick out of it. We're just fucking, we're masochists. We're masochists is essentially what it is. We don't mind tearing our bodies up for entertainment. But at the same time, you have to acknowledge this is a very difficult thing to do on a daily goddamn basis. So when you see people make these decisions and have these kind of matches where it's like, I'm going to be the workhorse, that is someone telling you, I am going to go through this process no matter how much it harms me because that's how much I want to entertain you. For you to sit there and say, well, Seth is the real workhorse champion. Look what he did during his reign, right? Roman Reigns was too busy taking time off. Roman Reigns is at home taking oral chemotherapy to stop the cancer from fucking killing him. But no, Let's put that all aside so that Tom from Des Moines, Iowa, can get a chance to see him wrestle for 25 minutes. No, that's not how that's going to work. You're going to get blessed with the tribal chief when the tribal chief is not on his fucking deathbed, and he can come through and drop a motherfucker on his head. That's when you'll get your opportunity. People forget sometimes. Just want to clarify that. They're people.
Yeah.
They're people. That's it. That you don't have to enjoy it. You don't have to like it. And speaking of being human and pushing the boundaries, you can make a strong argument in this tag match. Seth Rollins re-injured the knee. I know there was some selling going on, but we were there when the cameras went off. He did not look well at the end of that match.
I don't think so much re-injured because I think I made mention to this before. And they were like, oh, you had a match the night before. You looked great.
SmackDown, yeah.
And I said, it's just a warm-up. It wasn't anything. It was to loosen him up because he's been inactive for a while. And the last thing you need is to throw him into something vigorous, and then he's not going to make the 2 nights. But I think it wasn't so much re-injured, which, yes, probably. I mean, whatever verbiage you want to use, we're probably saying the same thing. But it's just like it just became more inflamed.
Yeah.
Like he went hard
here
these 2 nights, as he should, to the point where he made me believe that he might be okay. But towards the end of that, no. What made me believe was the very, 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 very end of the night. I'm not going to say too much, but at the very end of the night, when he was finally like, done.
Yeah.
The work is over, and he went to go walk away. I said, that man's fucking hurt, dude.
He's hurt.
He is in so much pain. You can see it. So, we'll get to that in a little bit.
That moment that you're talking about, you definitely want to bring that up because of the raw emotion involved with that, because I think there's more to the story than we know, and we'll get to that in a second. But the opening match for night 2, we're back to Seth again. And he looks healthy. He looks good in the entrance. He looks good in the entrance. But if you notice,
he gave it to us.
The entrance was a little much.
Love it. Absolutely.
It was a tremendous entrance, but then how can I say this? The opening spot. They gave us the big entrance, and it kind of gives you that feel. Okay, Seth is here. We're good to go. And then boom, Claymore.
And
I immediately gasped, and it was.
You thought it was going to be a one and done quick?
I thought right then I was like, he's got to be hurt. They're going to clear it out right here. This fucking the fucking Mexicans from his entrance haven't left yet, and he's already pinned 1, 2, and then he kicks out. I said, this is going to be short. He's not there. He can't do this. I didn't want to say that he can't do it because he can't wrestle or whatever. He was hurt. He was hurt. You could see it.
He's hiding a lot of pain.
He was hiding so much of it, and
many shots in his leg.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and due to the multiple injuries that he's working on, I can't tell which one it is because he wasn't limping. So I'm like, maybe it's his back, but then you start to see him limp. It was weird. That match was what it was. I'm not gonna critique this match. These were 2 people who were trying to make the best of a situation for what it was, and Drew did win.
I don't think it was a bad match.
I
think listen, it's not the peak Seth we could have
There you go, and that's why I'm saying no, it wasn't a terrible match, but it wasn't a match.
It wasn't a terrible match, and I think to my point with Drew is that he did a very good job at quarterbacking this match.
Yes.
And he took control of it, and he showed that aggression, all that shit he's been building up, all that. Boom, Claymore right at the start. Now we can slow this down immediately. The energy is crazy. He gets up again to try to hit him again. He fucking rolls out the ring. And now, all right, fuck, this hurts. I'm in so much, You know what I mean? Like, I think it was a good match. But to your point, yes, healthy Seth at this level, with this level of storytelling, this match should have blew the goddamn roof off.
Yeah.
But we got what we got, and I think it was, I think we move on from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I compare this, and I was thinking it while I was watching it on TV, and I think I might have even told my wife. This reminded me of Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, where Shawn came in with the bad back, and he got shots up the wazoo, anything to make the match happen, and then I think it was an Irish whip into the turnbuckle. He tried to do was upside down, and it hit his back, and it was done. And everything after that just was in immense pain. And I was thinking to myself, I felt like that was the situation. They knew going into this, I don't know when, I don't know at what point, but something on me is going to go. And when it does, we need to be ready. And I think that was the point of the Claymore, because the Claymore sets up, well, he's already been hit with a finish. So he can sell for the rest of this match, and whatever happens, happens.
Yep.
And I just felt like that Claymore was a fail-safe. So I was like, all right,
it set the tone. When you understand what you're watching, you knew it set the tone. Okay.
Yeah, he's going in quick. He's not fucking around, which means they're setting this up for in case we have to stop this right now or in that moment to be safe for him. They already have something cemented there for them to be like, all right, cool. Well, at least this is here. We can explain. Yeah, that Claymore took more out of him than we thought. Referee's going to stop it. Whatever the fucking case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just looking at that, and I was just like, oh, no, this is not good. And, no, like you said, it wasn't absolutely fucking terrible. But it's not the match. That's why I thought of Shawn and Austin. Because if you ask Shawn and Austin, they go, yeah, the match wasn't terrible, but that's not the match we wanted to have. Not at WrestleMania. So I got all the respect in the world, like you said, for Seth. He pushed it through. CM Punk on commentary was doing his thing, and Drew wins the belt, heads over to ringside.
And just sees red.
No, well, he presents the belt to his wife, which we didn't know was his wife at the time. I'm like, who is this lady?
Yeah, we were making a couple jokes here at the house.
And then he looks over at Punk, and he walks over, and he can't resist, and he walks over, and he gets on the table like a snake. Like, he looked like a stripper. Like, he was just like, he was coming. He had that come hither look in his eye. He was like, come here, big boy. You know what I'm saying? And he walked over to him, and he's talking shit. And Punk's being usual petty Punk. He was like, can't hear you. I got the cans on. And they're going back and forth. And all of a sudden, Drew stands up. He does the suck it. And he turns around to boast to the audience. And that's when CM Punk pulls Drew's leg out from underneath him, starts giving him the business, takes off the arm brace, hits him over the head with it. And all of a sudden, he blows the kiss to the wife. And it is over. Damian Priest...
And then it hits.
The Judgment Day music hits. Here comes Bisexual Taker down to the ring, which, by the way, was trending when he won the world title, which is fucked up but hilarious.
What?
Bisexual Undertaker was trending #1 when he won the title.
Someone said it on TV, but it wasn't bisexual. He said something else, but he said something Undertaker.
Taker. Yeah, they were playing into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what it was. I popped for that one. I was like, oh shit.
They're playing with it. Yeah. And then so Damian Priest comes in, hits the big move, 1, 2, 3. He wins the title at WrestleMania.
Let's fucking go.
For the World Heavyweight Championship. He is on the path now to doing whatever it is he's planning on doing with that world title. But I'm going to take this back for just a second. This is how it all went down. I'm laying it out for you guys. But I'd like to go back because somebody online, and I wish I could remember his fucking name. It was somebody on my fucking friends list on Facebook. A fan, though, so that's not someone that I talk to a whole lot. But he illustrated a point that I thought was fucking hilarious. And I am ashamed of myself as a human being for not coming to this conclusion on my own. But you're going to laugh when you hear this. The guy wrote, when all that was over, and he was thinking to himself, why in the fuck would Drew McIntyre win the world title? He won the world title. He's the world's heavyweight champion. He's celebrating with his wife. He's rubbing his nose, rubbing everyone's nose in his victory. Fans, everybody, right? Why would he go over there to CM Punk? Why would he take the time to do that, to get on the table, to really rub his nose in it? Even Punk said, because Drew said to Punk, this is my time. This is my moment. And Punk goes, yeah, it is your moment. So why are you over here fucking with me?
He's like, yeah, why are you making it about me?
Yeah, why are you over here
I like this exchange, by the way. I know I was very critical for them before, but I loved this exchange. Go ahead. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. So he goes, so then why are you fucking with me? Right? Go ahead and go over there and have your moment. Da-da-da-da-da. And then he did the suck it. And then
no. He didn't just say suck it. He deliberately invited him to his penis.
Right.
He said, "Suck my dick."
Yeah, but he did the DX gesture. Is my
Yeah.
point. Okay.
But
That's when the guy who was on my Facebook page finally put it together. It was a glass break moment. You remember How I Met Your Mother? A glass break
no, you
moment.
can't unsee it.
Couldn't unsee it. And the moment he's referring to is, holy shit, this whole time, since the Rumble, since before the Rumble, the whole time, Punk's return, that Drew McIntyre has been unable to go a day without keeping CM Punk out of his mouth. The guy goes, oh, Drew McIntyre has been the Young Bucks this whole time. It's the AEW gimmick. That's what they've been doing. He put it together. He's like, think about it. Ever since Punk has left AEW, that's all AEW can talk about is Punk. They refuse to keep Punk out of their fucking mouth. They take pot shots at him all the time. Go to sleeps and fucking up springboards and sitting Indian style. He hasn't been with that company in months, and they won't shut up about him. And all Drew McIntyre has done, even since the injury, Punk went away, and he couldn't stop talking about Punk. He made shirts with Punk's face on. He's feuding with Seth Rollins.
So you're telling me that Drew was
Drew has been trolling AEW
subliminal?
this whole time.
He's been a embodiment of a subliminal to AEW.
Yes,
mocking them the whole time.
Mocking them the whole time, even down to the moment he won the title, he could not let go of the idea of involving Punk. He had to make sure. Look at me, I got the last laugh, type of deal. The guy was like, he's been trolling Punk online, social media, throwing subliminals, being on TV, saying all that. He went to Mindy's Bakery in Chicago. Did you see that on his social media? So when Punk did the all-out scrum,
he was eating
Mindy's Bakeries, the muffins. So Drew McIntyre, when Raw went to Chicago, he drove to Mindy's Bakery. And he was going to go in there, but they were closed. And he was like, "Oh, I heard there's such great muffins in here. I want to try the pastries here at Mindy's Bakery." Everything he started going back and realizing what Drew's been doing. He's like, everything that he has done has been all shots at AEW, all of them.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, oh my god. That's the kind of forethought that you want in a champion, son. I was like, oh my god. Have they been doing an AEW gimmick this whole fucking time? That is amazing.
If that is it, then that means Drew has to you gotta let Punk go over then. At the end of this, Punk, if he is the embodiment of AEW at this point, like trolling them, like kind of mocking them the way that they are, dude, Punk's gotta go over then. I don't see why not.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
That's funny.
I just wanted to point that out. Also, congratulations to Damian Priest. All of the Puerto Ricans on my social media lost their mind. Oh, Boricua, the Puerto Rican from the Bronx. Ah! Boy, I tell you, it don't take much to make these Puerto Ricans happy as fuck. They were like a pig
and I love
shit,
that.
Boy.
Real quick to the workhorse idea. I love how they in the interviews afterwards kind of
I saw that. Yeah.
And he's like, bro, I have the second most matches on TV. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, not only am I a workhorse, but I'm about to go harder. You understand? Like, don't question me, bro. He's like, Seth set a standard for this belt, and I'm like pretty much like I'm gonna elevate it.
He did.
So I love that they asked him that, and I loved his answer. Like, don't question me, bro. I fucking work.
I've been here.
I'm in the ring more than anybody else.
Yeah, I've been here.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm working. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
I got the green light for the cash in.
Yeah.
So
even after his fuck up the first night, because remember we were saying, why would they yell at him for that? And then we find out that he didn't find out about the cash in until just before that match went out there. So that means that they were pissed because they're saying to themselves, "Fuck, we're giving you the fucking belt tomorrow. You over here yelling at officials like what the fuck?" So I get it now. Now it makes sense. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't egregious enough for them to change plans. So that's good. They already have a plan in place. They know what they're going to do with him. I wonder what this does to Judgment Day now. I'm curious to see where the
I don't
story
know.
goes.
They were doing this weird thing where I thought they were like taking them towards a breakup, but then they kind of like the last few nights slowed down.
Yeah,
a
they
little
came
bit.
out.
I don't know.
They came out together this past Monday.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I think they should just leave them alone for a little bit. Let them like compound some of that championship energy off of it. I think it does both of them great justice. Say what you want about Rhea. I mean, I think she benefits a little bit from this too. So I don't know. I'd say they just leave them alone for right now. Let them rock.
We'll see what happens, I guess. But we have a new world heavyweight champion now. This next match here, the 6-man Philadelphia Street Fight. Let me tell you something. We said on the roundtable that this match was butt. And we continued to tell people at the building, oh my God, I'm glad I'm here night one because the other match is butt. And I guess Triple H at some point said, you know what? I think this match is going to be butt. We need to spruce this match up. We need to add some materials here that might work out. So they took a Hall of Famer in Snoop Dogg, put him on the commentary table. That's the smoke and mirrors. Hey, folks, look at me over here. I'm dancing bear.
That was a dub because he had me fucking dying that whole
I'll take
match.
that too. He was like, hey, boo-boo. He was doing the whole Yogi Bear gimmick. It's like, that's not your normal table. That's the family reunion table. You got to watch out, big guy. This dude, he said they were pushing the liquor, right? The liquor he's got with Dre coming out.
Gin and juice.
The gin and juice. And he was like, yeah, man, I took a shot right before I came out here. He goes, that's the only alcohol you've had tonight, right? He goes, no.
Snoop.
Oh, never change, Uncle Snoop. Never change, Unc. Never change.
He is going to be a WrestleMania staple, bro.
I hope so.
He don't miss.
I hope
Although
so.
he said the number wrong, but he don't miss.
I listen. He can say whatever he wants. He's Snoop Dogg. I'll give it to him. He's earned the right. Then they added Bubba Ray Dudley as the referee, which I thought was interesting because they were in Philly. If this must have been an on-weekend idea. They must have all just been hanging out over the weekend, and Triple H just said, yo, Bubba, you want to do some shit tomorrow? Hell
Maybe they didn't know Bubba was going to show up to the thing.
To the Hall of Fame, right?
Or maybe he was there and just got so inspired. He's like, yo, Triple H, you got something for me? Like, I want to fucking go out. You know what I mean? Who knows? He could have just went up like, dude, I'm inspired. Like, let me just have something.
I want to hit the ring, bro. Like, what's good? And they're just like, yeah, we got something for you, Bubba.
I got a match that needs some
I got a match that fucking needs you crazy. It's a street fight, bro. You know all about them shits.
Yep.
Bubba stole the whole show. He had the glasses out. They did the what's up shit. Tables came out. It was a Dudley Boy match without Bubba lifting a finger.
I texted you, and I'm like halfway through this shit, and I'm like, this match is doing exactly what it should have done or what it needed to be, and it was entertaining.
That's
right?
it, yeah.
That title is a television title. It don't always have to be clowns and jokes and all that shit. But like this level of stuff where you have a 3-way where 2 of the guys are kind of like cool with each other. Like they don't really want to fight each other, you know what I mean? Like they're just kind of there.
Yeah.
But like that's what this did. It made it fun. And I was just like, I fuck with this. This went from probably a little awkward in the card to this was a very enjoyable moment. I enjoyed that whole shit.
What I think was even better, it was the shortest match on the fucking card. It was 8 minutes. Thank goodness. In and out. Get your shit in, get your shit out. I don't have anything for this next match, to be honest with you. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles debuted a new entrance with new music. I dig it with this whole new dark version of AJ. But this match was what it was.
It was a good match. I don't have a problem with it, but I think, and I've been fighting you on it. I've been fighting you all on it, but I think you guys were dead on. It because of the people in the match and their gimmicks and the things that we were experiencing this WrestleMania, it deflated it. It's not bad. I don't think the people are bad. I don't think any of them lost their juice. I think it's just like this should have just been on a different card. And I think it would have been way better. But you guys hit it right on the head. The gimmicks plus what was going on just completely overshadowed this whole situation. And it's just like you said, it's just a match between 2 people, and then we moved on to the next one.
It's so funny because I'm still to this day I'm just not invested in LA Knight the way everybody else is. I'm just
That's
not.
fine. He's here for a while. It's okay.
He's got a great promo, and I love his promo. His promo is a nostalgia act. I get it, but at the same time, he has enough personal charisma to get the interest. So I understand that, even though he sounds basically like The Rock doing a fucking promo. He gets the point across. His matches, he is the most basic, rudimentary SmackDown versus Raw creative character fucking wrestler I've ever seen in my
It's
fucking.
the formula.
He's built for this fucking system because he will not.
Absolutely.
You are not gonna get hurt wrestling fucking LA Knight.
I don't know.
It's not
LA
gonna
Knight's
happen.
one of those things for me where, and I bounce between it myself. I get gassed by it. I love his energy. I like his talk. His talk has gotten so much better
Yeah.
from when he first started doing the LA Knight thing. He's great. I love seeing him in the ring. You guys nailed it. I'm focused on the real Attitude Era. I don't want the Great Value version right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look at this. But I think he's to me, I bounce between indifferent and love him. I don't really have hate for what he does. I think he fits in here perfectly. This formula is for him. He's found his deal, and I don't know how far it's going to take him. But either I'm loving him on the screen, or I'm just like indifferent about it. But personally, I don't really have any hate towards it.
Yeah, so we'll see where they go with Knight from here. This past SmackDown, AJ Styles won a match that's going to put him in a match to compete for Cody's championship at Backlash, but we're going to get an LA Knight AJ Styles rematch because he also won a match. That's going to put him in an opportunity situation. So I hope AJ gets the win back. I know it's Mania and you want to do something with Knight, so they gave him the win. Dope, good for him. But I want to see more of what AJ can do with this gimmick. So let's see. We'll see what happens. Triple threat match for the WWE United States Championship. Logan Paul retains, as he should have, against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I got more out of this match than I thought that I would. They had me rolling in the fucking entrance when he came out, when Kevin came out with the golf cart. It drove Randy Orton, and Randy was like, slow the fuck down. God damn it. You're going to fucking kill me, boy. And they went in there, told a great story with the whole, let's beat the shit out of Logan attitude until it's time for a pin. They're like, oh, this. Kevin Owens is fucking hilarious. He's like, really? At this stage of the match, this early, you want to do this now? Okay, all right, let's do it now. And they just started beating the shit out of each other. And it's fucking, I don't know, I get a kick out of fucking Kevin. I know you're not a big Kevin guy, although you did say he's probably growing on you a little bit. You did say he was growing on you a little bit.
Yeah, no, he is. I'm like having an inception moment here. Didn't we just talk about this match?
The triple threat match? No.
Yeah, what match? Then I was talking about something fucking completely different. Before LA Knight, what the fuck were we talking about?
The 6-man tag. The Bubby Ray Dudley referee, Bobby Lashley, Street Profits, Final Testament.
Oh, bro, that's hilarious. My brain completely blocked out all the wrestlers in that shit and replaced it with the three-way.
So your criticism a second ago will be copy and pasted to this one here.
Yeah, aside from dude, wow, that was weird. I don't like that.
Yes.
But anyway,
we're gonna have to get that checked out.
Yeah. No. This it's funny because at the beginning of this one, I sent you a text and said they're not gonna do this shit back to back. So they did the treatment with Kevin Owens walking out and Sammy was there. So I'm like, no, they're not gonna do that twice. And they low key did Kevin dirty, dude. I thought he was gonna walk out with it, and he doesn't. That's crazy.
No, but with all due respect to Kevin and Randy, Logan should have won this match.
Absolutely.
He's had a great showing in WWE, but he's actually lost more matches than he's won. If they're trying to get him into SummerSlam as the United States champion, he needs to win more than he loses. So, I'm definitely in favor of that.
He's making too much money for this company right now.
Yeah, and whatchamacallit, not for nothing, but he's. I mean, money aside, obviously that's a big metric, but at the same time, he has no fucking business being this fucking smooth at this. I'm watching this match and I'm not saying much. I'm just watching. Logan hit Kevin with a frog splash that was picture fucking perfect. I'm like, how does he even know how to land like that? to where he's not stiffing his opponent and not killing himself. Like, that takes time to master. And he is just bouncing around this ring. He is selling his ass off. He's doing moves to these guys. He's holding his fucking own.
Well, lately, ever since the Prime agreement, he has been showing his face a lot more on the day-to-day shows. But I think that's a testament to him being a little bit more ready now than he was when he first started doing it. And I think instead of him showing his face more for no reason at all, he's just been hitting the gym. I think he's just been, and that's the one thing that a lot of people I don't think give these two brothers a lot of respect. And when they're not working, I truly believe in my whole heart, whatever they're doing, they're grinding. They're waking up and they're practicing.
Yeah.
Because there's, like you said, there's no way in this short amount of time that you're executing a craft at the highest level this early. So obviously he has the highest form of training, right? Like he's getting the most prestige training that anybody can get.
I believe he's getting training from, well, at the beginning of his career at least, that he was getting training from Shawn Michaels.
Right. So like in the NXT group.
Yeah.
Like he was in the developmental stuff, and but again, like obviously he's getting some form of training, but he's also absorbing it. I don't know, man. Say what you want about this guy, dude. When he's in that ring, dude, he's performing. He has his own little move set already. He knows when to do it. He's learning payouts. He's learning selling. He's learning different stuff like that, and he keeps bringing. He's like the Roman Reigns of like the outside WWE thing. Like he just brought in another big streamer that I popped for again when I saw. I was like, oh shit, it's I Show Speed. Fucking love that guy.
Oh my god. This again with the random person that I don't know.
Because when he came out, I was like, there's no way they're gonna put KSI in the same suit again. And when he ripped it off, it was I Show Speed, and he starts doing that little stupid thing.
Wait, so the barking is something he does all the time?
This dude, I Show Speed is literally, I don't watch him all the time. I just watch a lot of like his snippets, and they're fucking hilarious. He is the human embodiment of like overdose on Adderall. Like that dude just like, he's just always up. Like he's that type of like, that he's got so much energy, he just has to like get it out. So he'll do weird shit like that. Like he'll just bark or some weird stuff. So he just does goofy shit like that where it's like all energy all the time. Randy's like, dude, I don't even have a problem with you. And then he just like boots him, and the way he falls backwards is fucking perfect.
I was laughing with my wife because I said if I was going to take a boot from Randy Orton just out of nowhere, I'd love to have a foam covering over me the entire time.
Dude, that was good. It was good.
I said, yeah, that's going to work out well for me. I'll go ahead and I'll take that.
Night 2 is, so at this point, Night 2 is way better than I thought it was going to be.
Well, they, as Steph said, they spruced it up, right? They got all the theatrics. We didn't get the theatrics. We had better matches. So they had to puff some of this stuff up. So it is what it is. So this next match now is for the Women's Championship, Bayley versus Io Sky. Man, when I tell you this match got killed on the internet, I can't even begin to express. And listen, entrances aside, I loved both entrances. That Bayley thing has to grow on me. I'm sure that it will. The other one she had, the heel one, had to grow on me. And it did. So I'll give this one some time. AJ's, I felt right away. Bayley's, I was like, we'll let it grow. Let it grow. This match, holy sweet Jesus. Holy sweet Jesus. Did you see this match? You saw this match.
I know I'm going to have an unpopular opinion from the sounds of it.
Yes.
I thought it was fine. I mean, to be fair,
fine
I wasn't. No, but hold on. This shit wasn't gas going in.
Yeah, that's true.
So what the fuck are you expecting? That's why I thought it was good. I thought the match was way fucking better than the story. Your
bar of expectation had to have been in the toilet.
Bro, I texted you and it goes, if the story was as good as the match,
this would have been fire.
This match would be fire.
Yeah.
And Io's energy when she's in the ring is fucking great. When she's by herself.
Yeah.
She has no choice but to take on that energy, and she does much better. I think Bayley was. I think this match was good, but that's only because I have been very vocal about. I don't think no one fucking cares. I don't think Triple H cared about this match. He just wanted to hit the reset button on this shit.
Yeah.
Let's start over. So to me, I thought it was fine. It was entertaining, and it actually kind of made me sad because I'm like, man, I wish they would have just tried a little bit more. But then again, if you got the championship belt on doo-doo, I mean, how much can you polish it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if
You
she's not
can't
going to give
shine
you,
caca.
if she's not going to give you any energy as the champion, there's really not much you can do about it. So the reset button has been hit, and let's go from there.
Yeah, I'm not. I was a fan of EO and a fan of Kyrie before they came into the WWE. I don't like them in WWE. I don't know what it is about their particular style of things and how they do things.
I've
This
already got
doesn't work out.
Shinsuke, and I've already got Asuka.
Yeah, Asuka acclimated
You're coming
well.
in- you're coming in too late. I do not need a Japanese wrestler who's gonna walk down the aisle and flail their upper body. Like, you do nothing else but bend your body in weird ways, flipping your hair around, whipping around into the ring. That shit is dead. It's dumb. It doesn't look good. Shinsuke's got it locked. Asuka's getting a pass because even her is starting to get a little fucking weird to me. And it's just, I'm done with that. I don't want to see the inflatable floaty man walking down the aisle at WrestleMania with the belt on their waist. The gimmick is come up with something else. Stop all wiggling your arms down the damn aisle. It's just weird. Stop.
It's weird. You're weird and you're being weird about it. You need to relax.
Weird. You look like you have all muscle strength in your legs, but your upper body you can't hold up.
Structurally, something happened. This is wrong. Oh God. So Bayley wins the championship to the smattering of applause. It was what it was. Like you said, this was the one match of both nights that had probably the least amount of energy going into it, and it was what it was, like you said.
It was what it was.
Which leads us to our final match, Night 2's main event. Cody Rhodes attempting to finish his story against quite possibly the most dominant WWE champion in fucking decades. This is the streak against the fucking story here. This match, Jesus Christ. So, on the tag match, I said that it was a very, very just rudimentary, old school Memphis territory kind of tag team match. I will apply the same logic to this match, with it being an old Greensboro Coliseum NWA world title match, overbooked finish, blow off from a feud kind of match, where the match itself, first of all, the tag team match was 44 minutes. This match was 33. That is 77 combined minutes. That is an hour and 17 total wrestling bell-to-bell time for both Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Okay? That's a long fucking time.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. A lot of work. And
we're not talking you had 2 days off before you put in this work.
It was
either.
one night, and they had to figure out what to do night 2 that they didn't do night 1, which was why they probably were so basic night 1, so that they can keep their strong shit for night 2. We saw the usual back and forth psychology, who's going to get the better of the two, a few mistakes here and there. There was some stolen finishes. Roman Reigns with the
greatest part of the night for me, and I will forever be one of my favorite moments, is when Roman hit Cody with his move and is laughing and goes, "I knew it. That move sucks. It beats nobody." It is the greatest moment. And I love that they caught that on mic, dude. That was so good.
Oh my God. It was just
that
so good.
Move sucks.
So good back and forth. And the match was what the match was going to be. A lot of what they did last year at 39. But let's get to the meat of the matter. Let's talk about this goddamn finish. This is what we're here for. This is where the money is made. This is where the bread is buttered. We're talking about this finish. So we knew for Bloodline rules, they had teased it on when they first made the announcement of Bloodline rules. It was all members of the Bloodline are allowed to be ringside. We can do whatever we want. They hyped it like it was going to be a gang fight. But then the Monday before Mania, when they did the Bloodline Rules match on Raw with Seth and with Solo, it kind of did look like this. It was kind of almost like one at a time. A person would come out and try to fuck with the match, and eventually they just overwhelm Seth, and eventually overwhelm Cody. So, as the rumors and the internet goes, they always say that Seth Rollins is the Tony Stark of professional wrestling, as in the meme that he always learns from his mistake. And they ran a similar play here. So Cody and Roman are combating for the most prestigious prize in professional wrestling, which we're allowed to say now. Sports entertainment is out the door. We're back to being pro wrestling now, so we can say that. And out of nowhere, Jimmy Uso with the save, super kick, because why not? That's what the Usos do. And in response to Jimmy, here comes Jey Uso's music to pop Night 2's audience so they can get a little taste. They didn't get that vibe yesterday. We gave them a few seconds of it. Mm-hmm. Jey comes down. They turn into a brawl. They're fighting up that long-ass ramp, and out of nowhere, Jey just spears Jimmy to death. Well, I didn't know that there was one lone table sitting at the bottom of that thing. It just looked like they plunged into forever.
God bless them, because there were two, and they hit the second one. The first one didn't get touched.
He hit Jimmy.
Yeah, ate that shit.
He speared Jimmy at this weird angle. It wasn't like a straight shot. He did like this curve, and then just boom. And I don't know who called it. I don't know if Jimmy got himself into position and just knew and just said, "All right, Jey, go," or whatever it was. But they hit that. For safety reasons, that was as close as you're going. That's a cunt hair away from fucking up in a big way. That was a big fucking spot, but they're gone. So now we're back to one-on-one. And then we have a repeat of 39. Here comes Solo with the big thumb. He's going to try to take Cody out just like he did last year. There's the cover. 1, 2, kick out. Solo sold it beautifully, froze it in position, starts to tilt his head a little bit, thinking to himself, oh, one spike's not going to do it. Well, I got spikes for days, bitch. Here I come. Only for my wife's worst fucking nightmare to happen. Here comes the leader of the C Nation, John Cena, coming out of nowhere. And for those of you who were arguing, we're going to make sense of everything that happened, because it all ties, okay? Who was Cena feuding with before he left? Who was the last guy to take him out? It was Solo. Solo's the one who took him out.
I didn't know. Okay.
Solo was the one who took out John Cena. John Cena got written off television because of Solo. Not only did Solo take him out and injure him, he beat him in a match, one-on-one. So Cena comes out. He's not going to stand for the malarkey. Here comes John Cena taking out Solo Sikoa. He gives him an AA in the ring. But John's smart enough to know, because of his past experiences, one AA is not enough. So he drags the enforcer to the ringside area, sets up the announce table, puts him through the table AA style. John Cena takes out Solo Sikoa. So while Cena tries to fix his bald spot, the music hits. If you smell... And how does this connect? Well, who was John Cena's biggest money-making opponent at WrestleMania? That'd be The Rock. And
that one I know, yeah.
And the crowd, and they reenact the crowd reenactment. So they get in the ring together, they face off. One person looks right, one person looks left. They differ, they exchange spaces, and all of a sudden Cena hits him with the fucking hand. He cocks back, boom, of course, rock bottom, bam. You fucked with the final boss, bitch. Rock stands supreme, chest glistening with the baby oil and the hot lights. He takes off.
With utmost energy.
Oh my God.
Fuck out of my ring.
Fuck out of here, motherfucker, because I can cuss and you can't cuss.
I can cuss now.
Bitch ass, cunt ass motherfucker. He takes off the goddamn Mama Rhodes belt. It's time. It's WrestleMania. I'm going to put your boy's blood on here and your tears. He's about to follow through when all of a sudden, bong.
Dude, and it was
and
this
the fucking
moment.
light goes out.
Dude, my wife lost her fucking mind, dude. Oh my, that shit hit the first time and then it got quiet. She goes, at first I don't think she heard it, but like she was in disbelief. It's like, did it hit? And then it hits again. Boom. She's like, oh, then the lights come on and the place erupts.
And they go crazy. Now, there was some internet people who were a little upset because they had assumed that Stone Cold Steve Austin would make his appearance at WrestleMania to stop the final boss. Because in their logic, and it's not wrong logic, one of Rock's toughest opponents has always been Stone Cold Steve Austin. But here's And I don't know if Steve wasn't an option on the table. Maybe he had something going on. Maybe there's something that we don't know that happened. Maybe it was offered. Maybe it wasn't. But Taker, in my opinion, made more sense than Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because while Stone Cold was his greatest rival, he feels, and rightfully so, that he is on par and he is on even playing field with Stone Cold Steve Austin. The one guy that he always had respect for and never put himself above. And guess who is regarded as the actual final boss in the locker room? It was The Undertaker. So when Taker came out and Rock turned around, that fear you saw in Rock's eyes was the absolute perfect sell.
Yeah.
Because the idea is he's the board of directors, he's the boss in real life, and he's the final boss in gimmick. Who is bigger than the final fucking boss?
He would never be Taker.
Nothing is above the
It's one of those
Undertaker.
things. It's like the boss is out on vacation, so you start dominating the office.
Yeah,
you're
and then
telling people what to do, and then you turn around and the boss is standing there.
Yep.
You're like, oh shit, sorry. No, your office is right there. I was just cleaning it.
Yeah, real big dick energy came into the room real fast. Yeah. And Rock,
a true alpha has entered the ring.
Yes, the final boss. And he takes a choke slam, boom, he's out. Taker gets the gong and he disappears again. And we're back to where we started. Now, there is something in the middle that I missed, and I did it on purpose because I wanted to save it for this part. Just before Taker's entrance, while Rock had taken care of Cena, we heard the Shield entrance, complete with graphic. Now, I don't know if the cameraman missed it on purpose, but they didn't catch Seth's entrance through the crowd. Personally, and I haven't heard anything, I think that was on purpose. People considered it a botch. What you said?
I was going to say, I think that's on purpose because I think at this point he's so fucking in pain that
yes.
his walk probably wasn't sellable.
Yes, there it is. I think that was a cover for Seth because he was uncomfortable and he was in pain, and I'm not entirely sure. He probably still did it through the crowd because he's a boss, and it took forever. The music played for a minute. So he probably wanted to stay true to the gimmick, at least for the in-building audience, and it came through the crowd, but they nursed him through that.
Yeah.
And then he's got to get over. Yeah, and then he's got to get over the barricade. So the only time we see Seth's getting in the ring, and it looks like he's going after the Rock when Roman intercepts and Superman punches Seth, and he goes down. That's when Taker comes out, takes care of Rock. So Seth is down in the ring. So is Cody, and so is Roman when the lights come back on. When the lights come back on, there's a chair in the ring. And Roman starts to get up. He starts to grab the chair. Actually, at this point, he full-on picks it up. And he's looking at Cody like he's going to finish him off. It's bloodline rules. Anything goes. No disqualification. He cocks back, and he starts to look to his left, and he sees the one thing that can deter him. The one thing that can distract him. It's Seth. Not just Seth, but Seth in the gear, in the tactical outfit. He
PTSD flashback.
Not resist. It's been 10 years since Seth Rollins put a chair in Roman's back, and Roman never got the chance to give him that chair shot back. And you remember the promo. Seth told Cody, I know what needs to be done. I know what needs to be done. And I am the only guy uniquely suited to be your Shield at WrestleMania. And he knew the one card to play. Rewind to the Royal Rumble where Roman Reigns fought Seth Rollins for the Universal title. Rollins came out in the Shield gear that night. And he got into Roman's head. And if it wasn't for the fact that Roman completely lost his shit, people forget this, Roman was disqualified that night. He lost the match. Seth won by disqualification because the Shield thing had fucked with Roman so much. He just took a steel chair to Seth. He said, fuck this match. The disrespect is real in here, and I'm about to fix this. And he just wore his ass out with a chair. And that's when Seth knew, I got him. Whenever I want to get into his head, all I got to do is throw on the gear, put on the music, and
Yep.
he's out of his mind. Now, people looked back on that and said, well, he hit him with a chair. He hit him several times with a chair. He didn't need that payback. That's not the same thing. This was he said that night, I will never forgive you for what you did. I will never let this go. Those are exact words. I will never let this go. So Seth knew, all I have to do is show up in the gear, and he's going to lose it. So in this situation now, fast forward back to this match, he's in the middle of the ring. He's got a chair. He's got a chair in his hand. Cody to his right, Seth to his left. He could not resist. He bit the bait. He hits Seth with the chair. He goes off. Cody takes advantage of the situation. Triple Crossroads. We have a new champion. A story's been finished. A story has been told. Actually, if you think about it, two stories were kind of finished here. Cody finished his story, yes, but now we have come to the conclusion that Roman Reigns' prediction about himself is correct. He never let that go. He never let the Shield thing go. It was the one Achilles heel that he had, and that was it. Cody wins the championship. It turns into AEW out of nowhere. He's got the mic. He's talking people to the ring and the whole that was overdone. I didn't need all that. If they wanted to do it for the building, cool. I didn't need that on pay-per-view. That just draws shit out. But you said it. Now, Seth took the chair shot. He's on the outside out of respect so Cody can have his moment. But there's a moment where all the boys realize that Seth's on the ground looking at everything, and they come over and they're talking to him, and he's emotional. And we forgot to mention that he was emotional when he lost the title to Drew. And he looked at Drew, and he was like, it's your fucking time. Do something with this shit. And so Seth lost the tag match. Seth lost his title to Drew, and then Seth got the Superman punch and the chair in the main event. Yeah. And yet still, I can make a strong argument. He comes out the real winner in this pay-per-view. He did the one thing every wrestler should aspire to do, and that's leave the business better than where you left it. He's going to be gone for a while. He needs to heal. Even if he's telling himself he's going to be back soon, he shouldn't be.
Yeah. No, he needs to take a serious break.
I mean, I'll see you at the Royal Rumble, pal. I'll see you at the Royal Rumble. Just fucking go away.
And to be honest with you, the way that he did this, the longer he stays out, the huger his welcome is going to be.
Yeah.
There is nothing that can happen from now into next Mania that wouldn't make his return the most explosive thing that fucking happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he put himself in a great situation. He showed so many different levels of this, of being the champion, telling a story, executing, fighting through an injury, making people believe you're okay. That man was hurt. He was hurt. He was in so much fucking pain when he left. You could tell that that was a long 24 hours for that guy.
Yeah.
That was a long 24 fucking hours, but that man has worked his ass off and put himself in a position where I don't think he can do any fucking wrong. He has put himself up there right now, and now that those people are out of the way, Seth is going to be injured. Roman's gone. You have these two new champions. Now let's see what they do, because now you're at a position where anybody could lose. I believe anyone can win now, depending on what's going on. So let's see what they're doing.
We're introduced back to that world now, where before we had taken everything for granted because Roman was on top for so long. Now it's like, ooh, who's it going to be next? Who's this? Who's going to topple this now? It's this guy. It's that guy. I skipped over the entrances because Cody had a dope entrance with Brandy Rhodes being a part of it finally, and he got to do all kinds of kooky stuff. That was cool. Roman had the entrance of the gods. It was almost as if the gates of Valhalla had opened up and they harmonized his music. They didn't even include the real music. They literally let the orchestra and the choir harmonize him all the way to the ring. It was the entrance of the gods, and it was befitting because this is how we're as much because we've given Cody the riot act, right? You guys prove to me you're on a short leash with Cody. I get it. I've learned my lesson. I get it. So we already said what we're going to say about Cody, right? We're going to keep an open mind. We're going to see what happens. Backlash is up next. He's either got Styles or he's got Knight next. We'll see. Seth, we just gave him his flowers. Rock, we gave him his flowers. We're going to end this podcast the way that we should. We're going to acknowledge our tribal chief because 1,316 days is going to be there for a long fucking time. I don't see a champion getting near that shit in my lifetime. There's no fucking way.
No, I think we'll see what happens. I think there's too much talent in the locker room right now for that shit to fly. Like I'm a big component on the reason why some of these title runs like the Cenas and stuff like that go is because there's no one living up to the numbers that the people that the person who's the champion is putting up.
Right.
I don't necessarily, with Roman out of the way, I don't necessarily see that to be the case. I think there's a lot of opportunity. I think there's a lot of talent, and I think there's a lot of storytelling that can be told where we currently stand. So, yeah.
Yeah, we have a situation here, I believe, where we're going to have the conversation about his title reign for a long time. And one of the conversations that we're going to have, and maybe this is a conversation for another day, but if we don't have the pandemic, if we don't have the era of the dome and the no people in the building, do we get this title reign? If we would have had people in the audience that whole time, would we have gotten a reign this long? I think it's up for debate.
I think so.
I think it's up for debate. But to sit here and say that his title reign was not a great one to have for this company, I think would be misrepresenting.
Whoa. Are people trying to put an asterisk on
They're
this run?
They're trying to say that it was a boring run. He didn't have that many matches. Even when he did, he doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah, they're running him through the ringer right now.
Yeah, but they do that with all greatness, though. So that's how I know he did have the greatest run.
Wow,
if they're not saying that, then I would question it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. I mean, we've talked about this before on here. There's like maybe 10 people in the world who will ever experience what ultimate greatness is at the highest level of whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
There are probably a handful of true mountains in the world. And that means there's only one person that can stand atop of it at a time. It's so rare to be that person. And people fucking hate that person, especially when they do it for a long period of time. They get bored. They want the underdog.
Yeah.
So you work so hard to be the best. And it's not the being the best that people love. It's the pursuit of the best that people love. So when you are the best, you're tired. Get the fuck out of here. I'm tired of seeing you in my face.
Yeah.
I want to see someone else.
Yeah.
And it's hard to stay on top. And at that point, it no longer becomes about buying in the people to like you or to be. It's about what am I doing up here to make the people around me better? And because you're not going to get love from the people outside, they're tired of seeing you. So what makes you invaluable is when you make Jey Uso blow the building off at WrestleMania 40 when The Rock is the headline. Those things don't happen without Roman.
Yeah.
It doesn't. That does not happen without Roman. So for anyone to question his run, that's fine. I know it's a funny thing, but Drake says in one of his songs, like, yeah, I have all these number ones, but don't look at that. Look at my assists. Look at how many people I've given number one records to. That's what I want you to focus on.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Roman's greatness comes from. But obviously, if you're on the internet, they're not gonna talk.
They don't want to listen to reason, my guy.
They don't want to talk about it like that. Fuck, get this guy out of here. Pandemic.
Yeah, he's a pandemic champion. Is it really an argument? Look at Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. Does Sami Zayn go through all this stuff without Roman Reigns? Kevin Owens, right? Does Kevin Owens have the opportunity to say that he's had this many main event bangers without Roman Reigns?
I believe all of them got rebirthed.
Everybody got something out of the Roman Reigns deal. So you're not gonna. So when fans come out here and they say, "Well, I don't think it was that important to run," or blah blah blah, but then you watch the end of WrestleMania and you see these grown men, they're crying, and not just for Cody because they're happy for Cody, but what Roman was able to do. Thank you, Roman. That was the way that all those conversations were going. They were saying, "Thank you, Roman."
they were crying for Cody. People were happy for Cody. We have a baby face now that it's going to be tough to run, but we'll see where they go with it.
Let's see where they go
Seth
with it, yeah.
Rollins is at the top of his game right now. There's the Usos are at the top of his game right now, and people are sad, that a run is truly over right now, and Roman is at, well, no pun intended, the head of the table of all of that.
Yeah.
None of this happens
Without Roman.
without his run.
Yep.
So, I don't know, man.
The
People
ratings, the ticket sales, the events that we're going to, all those things.
that shit, I'll never understand people who can't just object. I don't care. You listen, I did not like Roman at all.
Nope.
I was very vocal about that at the very beginning.
Annoyingly so, but you came around.
If you can't, if there's one thing, and I actually liked it, but even if I didn't, there's no way I can't objectively sit there and go, that was a fucking run.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, dude, that was crazy.
He did it up.
It's crazy.
And they're already pushing. We have a new bloodline as of last night on SmackDown. You didn't get a chance to see it, but Paul Heyman came out there, cut the promo. Hey, we lost. It is what it is. But Roman Reigns will be back, and he's doing this, and he's going to do that. And Solo goes, hey, listen. Solo started talking. He said, hey, losing has consequences, right? All right, cool. And then Tama Tonga from New Japan debuts with WWE, and Tama Tonga and Solo beat the teetotal fucking shit out of Jimmy Uso. He's out. And we've got a new tribal chief, according to Solo. We're taking over. And we're going to now see where this story goes. They already putting it in. Hey, I know it was just this past week, but fuck it. We got some new shit for you. I'm the tribal chief now.
That's beautiful. Again, beautiful storytelling. Hindsight. Solo's in there spiking this dude. Get up.
Yep.
Finish this. And then Roman's like, I know. Get up.
Yep.
Like that argument between the two where like you can see Solo's frustration.
Yeah.
Like, stop fucking playing around.
Roman was
Finish this.
Roman was the one who declared Solo to be the heir apparent. Solo's been groomed for the top spot. So if he sees an opportunity, like you said, he was getting on the tribal chief's ass mid-match.
Yeah. Let's
Mid-match. Get off your fucking ass and fucking
talking
finish
mad
this.
crazy to the tribal chief.
And the tribal chief was sitting there in distress. He didn't even look at it as disrespect. He was just,
exactly.
he's like, I got it. Trust me.
I know.
He responded like a man who was supposed to be in control but clearly wasn't.
Right.
That's how Roman sounded. I know. I got this. And you didn't have it.
Yep.
So now here comes the underling, the young lion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not for nothing. He's got a big fucking future ahead of him.
Let's see. Hey, listen, the ball's in his court now. I'm sold on Solo from jump. Like, his talking isn't terrible. He doesn't do much of it, but or hasn't had. But it's not terrible. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see. So, ladies and gentlemen, our thoughts and opinions on WrestleMania. It was a fun time. It was a hell of a show. We're looking forward. We're heading. WWE is heading to France.
Wee.
For Backlash. There's going to be plenty of wee for them when they get waiting for. I said we can activate the pause at any time.
I just want to be clear.
The no homo is implied, and we can pause at any moment. So we're heading into international waters. Let's see how your Boricua champion does in France. That'll be a nice sign. That'll be a good way of letting us know where he's at as far as the pecking order goes. But a lot of things going on with Backlash. We've been so wrestling heavy leading up to WrestleMania because it's such a big week. What a payoff. What a great show. We are 100% taking a wrestling break next week. We will have some fresh topics, something else to talk about, just to break up the monotony. I don't give a shit what AEW does. And I'm sure there's more stupidity that's going to come out of that goddamn place, but I don't give a fuck. We're talking about something else, goddammit, next week. And there's plenty else that we can talk about. I just got to put some shit together and organize it. We're straight. But we're going to take a shower and just rinse all of Philadelphia. I didn't even get on the topic about us getting the fuck out of that building. That's another goddamn hour on this podcast. I'm not going to do it. Fuck it. Just know, Philadelphia, you got to get your shit together. There's not a whole lot of event stuff that happens over there that made any kind of sense. It took forever for people to get home. It was retarded. And it wasn't even like I'm driving home to New York. I was going to your house, which is like 20 minutes from the fucking place.
Not
and
even.
It took an hour to get home. It was ridiculous. But anywho, I'm gonna take this W. I'm not taking the AEW route and stick on the negative. I'm taking the WWE route and go, what a W. What a great show. So we're gonna take the wrestling, but we're gonna do a show. We're just gonna take a wrestling break next week. And we hope you guys enjoyed everything about this show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for enjoying this episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. And we will see you next week. Enjoy everything that happens and get ready for some new topics.
Mic drop. Wait a minute. This is too much. Cooking it like a pro. Wrap it up, everybody. Show's over.